San Antonio's Sports Center.
Former Cowboys great Michael Irvin is out at the NFL Network after it appears the network is doing away with total access. Irvin is the latest in a long list of cuts at the NFL Network. Odell Beckham Jr. has a new home today, signing with the Miami Dolphins, one-year deal worth up to $8.25 million. And the LA Lakers, well, they're coachless. They fired head coach Darvin Ham after just 2 seasons in LA.
Joe Reinagel.
The third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Live on this Friday afternoon out at Retama Park from the clubhouse level, as Reinagel would say, the schwanky part.
The schwanky part.
Retama. Although there are schwankier parts. You can go to the Founders Club, but you've got to be a member.
That's right around the corner
that's
there.
Right over there. We're on the 3rd floor if you're coming out here and making early bets on tomorrow's Kentucky Derby. And you realize, and everybody here knows, we are horse racing experts. We know everything about these damn things.
Of course
and
we
everybody
do.
wants to know who's going to win. And
I've given advice.
And they look at you like you're an idiot.
Well, I am when it comes to horses.
Well, amongst other things. But, yeah, I mean, you look at that. So we'll start the show with a simple question. Because of the, 15 people that have come up and asked us who's going to win, I don't know that I've heard the same name twice as that's my horse.
That's interesting that you say that. Now there are some big favorites, right?
Yes.
I mean, I guess Fierceness is one of the big favorites.
Sure.
But, Just a Touch is one that I've heard mentioned.
Yep.
Something Dan. What is it? I can't remember the name of it.
Well, good for you. That will help you.
Well, I'll have to look at
Know
it.
your horses before you get to the wedding window.
I will. I will. I'm using today's show for my own selfishness. Because every piece of advice and every expert we have on, they're going to tell me what to bet, and I'm going to do that exactly.
Yes.
So I plan to come back out here and collect a fortune.
Uh-huh.
A fortune.
Yes.
I might need an armored car when I leave this place.
Well, you won't. But, I mean, it's possible. I mean, you look at Mystic Dan. At 27-1,
That's
the number
him.
3 horse. Yes.
Mystic Dan,
that's
yeah.
it. Yes.
I knew it was Dan something.
Well, yeah. Or Mystic Dan, right? It's there. Forever Young. That would
Forever
be bad.
Young.
Yeah. I've heard that one
That's
a lot.
That's a good song.
I've heard that one a lot. That is. And so, so if you guys want to tweet us who you think is going to be the horse that wins tomorrow, or what your 3 horses are, how you're going to play this, let us know on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix, or better yet, come see us here at Retama Park and come up to the 3rd level, the clubhouse level. The bartenders are far better up here than they are down there.
Yes. Of course they are.
Yes.
And they got a really nice bar over here.
Of course they do.
And I've seen them bringing out food all over the place.
Yeah,
The food looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And, you got some people walking around here that don't know what they're doing. But, I mean, other than that, it's
besides
a great
Greg
place.
Shelton, who?
Well, I don't know. Dude, let me tell you something. When we walked in here, some of these people are pros.
I've
seen with that two or three laptops going and writing down notes. And I mean, it's like some of these people they take this thing pretty serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think everybody up here does.
Well, I guess.
I think everybody downstairs does. I think if
there's no yahoos like me that just want to come out here and throw away some money.
See, now here's the thing. It's 2:04 on a Friday. The people that are here right now know what the hell they're doing. Everybody else is going to come out here tomorrow. People like you and me, where we're going to spend a day studying. And we're going to become experts, and we're going to come out here tomorrow, and our wives are going to try to enter the hat contest to win $300.
Yeah,
we're going to get the fancy mint juleps, and we're going to pretend like we know what we're doing. We're going to make a whole bunch of bets and go home happy. Maybe not rich, but we'll have a good time because that's what it's all about. the people that are here today, like you got those guys sitting over there. They got so many slips across their table. The guy's got a cigar in his mouth. He's not even smoking it, man. He just has to, he just has to look the part, right? I mean, those are the people that are out here today, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And really, everybody out here kind of looks the part.
Yeah.
Most of them anyway. I like the dude with the hat over there. That's a good looking hat, sir. He didn't think that was funny.
Well, which hat? I mean,
that guy there.
There's all kinds of dudes with hats here, But I mean, and again, I know Rob Thompson is on his way. Rob is going to fit right in, shorts and a fishing shirt. That is kind of the uniform of the day for a lot of people that are out here.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be comfortable.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, when you're betting your hard-earned money, you got to be comfortable. You got to make sure that everything's all right, and you're comfortable, you feel good, and there's no issues.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I did mention Rob Thompson. He will join us out here at Retama Park. He will be live. Look at somebody's handing you a slip. What does the slip say? Can you even read the slip, Joe?
Yeah, I can. Valid for 1 year. Okay, so he's got the can I say it on the air? Are you all right with that?
These are your picks.
He's got the 2 horse and the 17 horse.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's for me.
He made bets for you.
Wow.
Yeah, tip the monkey at the table.
How
Here we
about
go.
that?
Absolutely. I mean, that was a race from 3 weeks ago that didn't cash, but whatever. Here's your slip. It's valid for a year.
I got to find out who those are.
Yeah, there you go. The 2 horses, Sierra Leone. That's a 6-1.
Wow.
What was the other horse?
17.
Oh, that's Fierceness.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? Sierra Leone. They're the 2 favorites.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Dude spent $10 on me. I appreciate that.
Well, you got to earn that $10 now.
I'm all set.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can go and throw some money at one of these, 50-1 jobs. And really take a shot at making some money.
Yeah. Sure. Resilience.
Well, that was awfully nice.
That was.
Dude must have won a jackpot a minute ago or something.
I mean, you never know. You never know. I mean, you look at some of these horse names and you try to just figure out from the names which ones might go well. And this year the names aren't quite as.
Now, how did you find the horses with numbers on them?
What?
I mean, I got a list over here. And there's no numbers.
You're an idiot.
I'm just saying.
You are an idiot.
Well, who does that?
What do you mean? Who does that?
Well, who puts you to the horses that you don't even know what the hell they are?
What website do you go to? You have to go to a website that knows what they're doing.
Well, it's just Sports Illustrated.
Well, I mean, you can go to ESPN. I'm looking at Yahoo right now.
All right. This is interesting. Come out here and
I'm glad you prepped for this.
Well,
I mean, it's not like you've had a busy morning or anything.
No, I haven't been doing anything today. Nothing at all.
Not a damn thing.
It's been one of the strangest days that I can remember, but I digress. So I'm going to study this thing up, but I mean, I feel like I'm like way ahead of the game right now.
Well, because somebody bought you some.
Well, yeah, that was awfully nice.
I mean, that's what a dad does for his daughter. Here you go, kiddo. Here, root for these.
Yes.
Root for these.
I thought that's great.
Yes.
Wow, I mean, that just kind of made my day.
Yeah. Did it?
Yeah, it really did.
You're so easy.
Oh, well, when's the last time somebody spent $10 on you?
Well, actually, about 30 minutes ago, you paid for lunch.
I did, didn't I?
You did.
Damn.
You did.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun, right? Jacob Barrick on YouTube said, "Just go to Horses or Us." That's pretty funny. Pretty funny.
$10 won't get you much at Horses for Us.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see because we are having Frank Alosa's coming on with us a little bit later in the show.
Yeah, Frank Alosa, who I've known for a long time. He is a bloodstock agent, which is a weird title, but he buys horses for rich people. And he actually has a horse that he bought made it to the Kentucky Derby. So aside from the horse that he bought that has no chance at winning, but we'll get his thoughts on it. The last couple of years, any big races, I've made money listening to Frank Alosa. So tune in about 4:35 for that We'll also talk Cowboys as we do with John Machota every Friday at 5:15. And our new morning show debuts on Monday. But technically it debuts today at 3 o'clock because Rob Thompson and A.J. Hoffman, the morning cuddle, they are going to join us here at Retama Park. A.J. coming in from Vegas. He's a Texas guy, so he's coming home, more importantly. But AJ and Rob Thompson will join us live out here at Retama Park at 3 o'clock. So the 3 to 4 o'clock hour, I have no idea what the hell we're going to talk about.
It could be anything.
It really could be anything.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that, getting to know AJ and having all of you get to know AJ, more importantly. And it's going to be interesting and a lot of fun. I know he made an appearance on the Morning Cuddle today. And by the way, I just want to say, man, thanks to RJ Ochoa.
Yeah.
The guy filling in did yeoman's work, and we appreciate RJ.
RJ's been that guy ever since, it's interesting. You go back and how you meet people. We were doing the show, The Blitz, over at a store called Fans United, which was a Cowboys pro shop offshoot. It's owned by Jerry Jones. And RJ was working in there and also was doing his podcast, just getting it started. And then we did Rock the Mic. And he won our first Rock the Mic and has done so many things since. It's been fun watching his career take off the way it has with blogging the boys and all the stuff that he's done, getting married, having a baby, all that kind of stuff. And, temporarily filling in on the morning show, RJ will still be a part of what we do here at
Absolutely.
San Antonio Sports Star. We got vacations coming up, and you'll hear RJ a lot. He's the bench.
He is the bench
Yes.
right now, so that's good. And but yeah, I just wanted to say that as we move forward for the new morning huddle with Rob and AJ.
Yes.
Yes. See, I got to get to know the guy,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Hoff.
The Hoff.
Yeah, no. AJ.
So we go RJ to AJ, and
Yeah. Sure. We'll figure it out.
you can call me
Yeah.
Ray, or you can call me Ray J. Or, you remember that?
Oh, no. What the hell is that?
You remember that, don't you?
What are you
See?
talking about?
Dude, that was great. Some comedian or something that used to do it. You can call me Ray, or you can call me Ray J, or you can call me JR.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
Exactly.
No
Just
idea.
don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah.
See, Shelton knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Hee-haw days, huh?
I don't remember how far back that goes. That dude, but he was funny.
Yeah, that dude, he was funny. What was his name?
I have no clue
idea.
what his name is.
Yeah. I know we don't have game sevens in at the East after New York took care of Philadelphia last night, as I predicted. We'll talk about what we saw on the court last night as we continue here from Retama Park on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Looking to step up your Mother's Day flowers? The Home Depot has an idea. Let Mom's Green Thumb do some digging with colorful flowers, pots, and premium soils to bring out the most in her patios, walkways, and gardens. Right now, get Vigoro potting soil just $8.97 for strong, healthy, vibrant plants, indoors and outside. Shop our wide selection online and pick up your order in-store and give Mom the gift of a beautiful garden. Get Vigoro potting soil just $8.97 at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. See homedepot.com/delivery for details.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Let our team keep your home running comfortable and worry-free. Call on Mr. Electric for all your electrical needs. 210-248-2026. Or get a hold of us online at mrelectric.com and enter your zip code.
License number TECL 34221.
The Jim Rome Show.
Hey, Jim Rome here, and back in the military city of San Antonio.
Weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix on a Friday afternoon out at Retama Park. No better place to be the day before the Kentucky Derby.
I tell you what, it's amazing to me. All these people out here practicing today. Getting ready for the Derby.
Is that what they're doing?
I don't know what they're doing. They're professionals, that's for sure.
Well, they're betting on the races that are going on across the country and world.
Simulcasts all over the place here, which is kind of nice. You can come in here and just have some fun. And Shelton and I were just talking. They even have dog races going on over here, so which I really liked, man. They used to have a dog track in Corpus Christi.
Yep,
way back when we used to go. My dad used to like going there, so we'd take him there.
And any trip to Port A would generally require a stop at the dog track.
Absolutely,
that was good.
It was a lot of fun, and this is a lot of fun out here too.
You look at the idea, and again, Retama, the only place you're going to be able to bet on the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. And you can come out here today and get your bets in or be here for the party tomorrow, because it will be an all-day party tomorrow starting at 8:30 at Retama Park. And you think about last night, going into the games last night, somebody I know, Joe Reinagle, lock Sixers would win, Sixers would cover the 3.5. Somebody else that I know, me, Minix, said, nope, Knicks are going to win this thing. Knicks are going to win this thing. I thought it was embarrassing that the Sixers ownership group had to spend money to buy about 2,000 tickets to keep Knicks fans out. That wasn't enough. There was still plenty of FMB chants in that game. It was a great basketball game, though. I mean, the Knicks had that big early lead, and then at halftime it was gone. That fourth quarter was great. That was one hell of a basketball game, one hell of a series.
Yeah, it was a great series. It really was. And Tyrese Maxey disappeared last night for the Sixers, and I think that was a huge problem, obviously, for them. He didn't play anything like he played in that Game 5 where he just willed that Sixers team to win. So, look, you got lucky. You got lucky.
Of course.
Jalen Brunson is spectacular. I'm hearing all over the national shows today how is he the greatest Nick ever, or could he become the greatest Nick ever? And I'm going, pump the brakes a little bit. People were talking about this cat like he was.
He's got to go win a title.
He was a nobody.
Yeah.
Right? And laughing at the Knicks for paying him the money that they paid for him. And it's like, sometimes front offices can just spot talent. You go out, you see a guy. Well, that Jalen Brunson guy, I think he's going to turn into a hell of a player.
I don't know. Certainly not greatest Nick ever. Although if he leads them to a title, he would get into that conversation. Maybe when it's all said and done, he might go down as one of the greatest Knicks. But I mean, you asked me besides, the Joker, who would be your MVP pick, and I said Jalen Brunson. I mean, he has done that all season long. I like the way he plays. SGA would be in that conversation.
SGA, yes.
And he certainly has willed that Knicks team past the 76ers. Now, if Embiid were 100% healthy, who knows? Because that's kind of always the knock on Joel Embiid. But that's a fun series. Indiana taking care of Milwaukee last night. That wasn't a fun series. Tonight you get Orlando and Cleveland. You got the Mavericks and the Clippers. That series has been interesting, but I don't know if it's been fun.
Breaking news there. Number 2 is not going to play.
What?
Such a surprise, right?
Why don't we hit the breaking news sounder when that SOB does play? That's more breaking news. Oh, my God. Kawhi's going to be in the lineup in a postseason game. Holy cow, stop the presses.
That would be a stop the presses moment. That guy stealing money. I'm telling you. Dallas, hopefully Dallas wraps this thing up. Look, it's one of these things where when the Spurs aren't involved. So you kind of have to pick your battles. Like I thought Philly would win that. I wanted to see a Game 7 between those two and back in Madison Square Garden. Didn't happen. Embiid was good last night, though.
He was.
You got to admit, even as dinged up as he is, he played well. But that's not going to happen. I'd like to see Dallas take care of the Clippers tonight, and Cleveland get that win too. Although Orlando has played much better than I thought they would.
Yeah, they and again, young team, up and coming. It's just I don't know. There's nothing sexy or exciting about that matchup, about that series. There's nothing that says, man, I've got to tune in and can't miss. I mean, like last night, weren't we all just kind of waiting for that Knicks Sixers game to get started? I mean, there was that kind of anticipation of let's go, let's get this early game out of the way. And it wasn't a competitive game. Let's get to that start time. I mean, it had that big game feel to it. And again, when you don't have a dog in the fight, like most listening right now with the Spurs not in it, and this matchup or that matchup, you just want to watch good competitive basketball. And we're getting that.
Well, and that was the way that thing started, and the Knicks getting out to the lead that they got out to, and then Philly just chopping away, and the whole second half of that game was good because then the Sixers got a big lead in the second half, and the Knicks came back, and it was just right down to the wire, and that was a good game that kept me right there on it the entire time. I enjoyed watching that game. It was a fun game to watch.
It was, and again, I mean, you look at Maxey. And can they? I mean, he at least showed up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
but it was too little, too late. Those free throws down the stretch, those 2 free throws in the final 10 seconds, made a difference on my underdog fantasy pick'em entry, which I was happy about. But at the same time, you look at it, too little, too late. But you could just tell with Jalen Brunson and that group, the Knicks just Jalen willed that Knicks team to that win, and setting up for the second round and knowing that the Pacers had already won with no bench. The minutes that those guys have played, they had to take care of business last night, and they did. And again, I thought the Knicks would win last night as much as I wanted a Game 7 at the Garden.
Yeah, I was really hoping for that. And there were many times where I thought that it was going to happen. Because nothing would have been more fun than that. That would have been A lot of fun to see that. But they had, the Knicks had some guys step up last night. Hart stepped up last night. Hartenstein, that dude, made some clutch baskets as well. So it was a good series. The Knicks move on. But, I mean, I'm not sure how that Indiana-New York matchup is going to be.
Well, it's not going to be like the Reggie Miller days.
No, I don't think so either. It's going to be interesting. So you got to figure the Knicks are the favorite in that series.
Yeah, but I do think that Indiana, although beating Milwaukee, technically upsetting Milwaukee, though without Giannis and without a fully functioning Dame Lillard, just how good is this Indiana team? I think they're better than most think, but I don't think they really stack up well against the New York Knicks, but we will see. Now, the other big news out of the NBA is Darvin Ham has been fired by the Los Angeles Lakers. 2 years is out. I find it interesting that when they were eliminated, when Phoenix was eliminated, I said, I think Darvin Ham should keep his job in L.A., but Frank Vogel, if I were going to make a move, I would have Frank Vogel out in Phoenix. He just doesn't seem like the right coach for that group of guys. And I'm not a big Frank Vogel guy anyway. I mean, I didn't like what he did in L.A. I'm just not. I didn't like the hire when Phoenix hired him. I am a little surprised that Ham is out this quick in L.A.
That's obviously what LeBron wants. So that's the only reason. Jeannie Buss said before the playoffs, it didn't matter what happened, Darvin Ham was going to come back.
Yeah, $9 million to go away.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I guess she got a phone call from one Mr. James, and he said, I want Darvin fired. And that happened. And that's the way it works. And look, I got all the respect in the world for LeBron James. I really do. But what has the guy done lately? I mean, it's a serious question.
He won an in-season tournament championship, Joe.
Serious question. What has that guy done lately? Absolutely nothing. Nothing.
I mean, they won a title in the bubble.
Well, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
They won an NC. I mean, he's still LeBron James, and he's still playing at an extremely high level. How they try to make the most of what he has left in his career. Even though he has all the options, he could opt out and become a free agent and go try to follow and play where Bronny gets drafted. Although I still think Bronny ends up getting drafted by the Lakers so he doesn't have to move. Like his whole life right now is in LA. Could he go somewhere? Sure. Could you see him trying to hook up with, say, a Golden State or with the Knicks team or something like that? How much does he really want to play with Bronny? But I think the Buss family wants to keep him in L.A., and I think he wants to stay in L.A. But you look at that tweet the other day from Magic Johnson, and it's pretty damn telling from Magic Johnson. That Laker roster, between Anthony Davis and LeBron James and then who? And it's not going to get any easier for the Los Angeles Lakers when you look at the young, talented teams in the West, and you include the San Antonio Spurs in that with Wemby and with what we expect them to do this offseason, whether you're expecting blockbusters or slow, methodical, this Spurs team will be better next year. It has to be better next year. They're going to be in that mix and a part of that conversation really soon. The question is, if you're LeBron, do you feel like you've got another title run in you in L.A., or do you need to go somewhere else to chase another championship ring?
Well, he might as well go somewhere else. Hasn't he played for just about every team in the league?
Well, he hasn't played here yet. He hasn't played here yet.
But I really don't want him to play here,
quite
honestly.
Look at a guy like Shaq. Could you name all the teams Shaq played for at the end of his career?
Yeah, he played for Orlando. He played for the Lakers. He played for, what was the other one?
Cleveland, Boston.
He played for all those teams?
Yeah. Wow. He played for a lot of teams down the stretch.
Look, again, and I know, at some point in time, guys stay too long at the party. I know LeBron has his moments. He does. But he's not that guy anymore that can will a team to a championship. Anthony Davis, I don't know if he's going to be in L.A. next year. There's talk of him perhaps leaving. So would that bust things up? It's going to be an interesting offseason for a lot of these so-called super teams that have been established and put together, and where do guys go and how do they fit in there? Roll the dice.
The playoffs are getting fun. The offseason is going to be even funner. Is that a word? Even funner?
Well, even more fun.
More fun?
Yeah.
Is that a better way to say it?
I think it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what my English teacher said.
Like you would know what your English teacher said. The offseason is going to be incredible.
It's going to be
Cannot
fun.
wait.
No doubt.
Now, one of the bigger deals that really has nothing to do with player movement, but personality movement. Will TNT lose the NBA rights? And what will happen with the best pre- and post-game show on television? Does Charles Barkley become a free agent? What about Shaq and Kenny and those guys? That is going to be one of the biggest offseason dominoes to fall, and that could happen in the next couple hours. We're talking about it next here on the Blitz, live out at Retama Park here in getting ready for the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. Now, if you're going to come out here, put in your wager to go home, make sure you stop at Tri-County Meat Market when you're out and about, because you know that great meal starts with great meat. No better place to get your meat than at Tri-County Meat Market. They're two great locations, locally owned and full service. They have everything you need to up your grilling game. Beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, the poppers. If you want to do some ribs tomorrow, maybe some nice St. Louis style or baby back ribs, want to throw on some beef ribs, English crosscuts, you could do that. A nice steak. Their brisket burgers are incredible. Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect, and you can always take advantage of their Pick 5 for 25. And Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Two great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
6 a.m. on the Morning Huddle, you'll find out whose voice you're hearing right now. You'll also find out who's advanced in the NBA playoffs. And you'll find out if I'm bummed about the Golden Knights.
And oh, by the way, F1 action. Well, we won't talk about it, but it happened. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Over the past decade, the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roof Hub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roof.
$5 won't get you much food these days, even on a value menu, unless you're at KFC. With the new taste of KFC deals, you can get a hot, juicy drum and thigh, creamy mashed potatoes and gravy, and a flaky, buttery biscuit starting at just $4.99. Son of a bucket, that's a good deal. The new taste of KFC deals starting at just $4.99. It's finger-licking good. Prices, participation, and product offering may vary. Tax, ticket, fees, extra.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
What's the room again?
1240, down at the end.
Ooh, what's that? Sammy, don't touch that. That's someone's old food.
Here we are. Do you have the key?
You have both of ours.
Oh, right. Not working.
Rub it.
Come on.
Try flipping it over.
Seriously, why can't we go inside? I'm tired.
Give me yours.
You have mine.
All right.
What?
Please, if you
Dad,
could just...
why aren't you opening the door?
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
San Antonio is Aggie Country. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at Retama Park. Kentucky Derby is tomorrow. Who's your horse?
Watching all the experts out here.
Exactly. Well, and again, you got to figure out which guy you want to kind of study with. I mean,
see, I don't know. I mean, because some of these guys look pretty smart. I saw this dude pulled out a highlighter a minute ago.
Well, yeah, the highlighter, but he also has 2 pair of glasses, and I can't figure out, is he wearing readers and magnifying glasses all at the same? I mean, what the hell are you doing with 2 pair of glasses?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. But some of these people look like experts. Some, it's like they look like me.
Well, and that's it. That's part of it. You have no idea with some of these. But these guys, the ones that are here today watching it, they know what they're doing. They got their laptops out. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're trying to figure stuff out. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what the dude is doing with 2 glasses.
Well, I obviously can't see. I need to send him over to Parkhurst New Vision.
Well, you might. It's just I don't get that.
Well, they can't see. Don't make fun of him.
Well, it's not that I'm making fun of him. I'm trying to figure out like does he have readers? But then are the other ones like those cool magnifying glasses?
Well, maybe when you look at a program,
I mean,
like he's doing, there's an X-ray vision thing that you can see, and it gives you the winner.
X-ray vision that gives you the winner.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the case.
I just don't think the dude can see.
Well,
goodness gracious!
But it's like grumpy ass Greg Shelton. Now Greg, he wears readers, right? And then somewhere along the way on Shark Tank, there's that deal with the magnet that you just put the magnet on your shirt.
Yeah,
so you always have the holder, right?
Yeah.
It's like the dorks in high school that used to have the pocket protectors. You got the hook.
Was that you?
No, but it was Greg, and he's got the hook for his glasses, and they're right there, and it's part of his daily uniform, and he's got thousands of them everywhere. He never loses his readers, but sometimes he loses his magnetic hooks, right?
Well, and Shelton's not in for the style points either, so he doesn't care.
Don't tell that to Greg. He does care. And then when Greg gets really busy and frustrated, he switches his hats, and he's got the hat with the flashlight with the flip down magnifying glasses. And I'm wondering if this guy needs Greg Shelton's fancy engineering hat. Well, because I'm wondering if that other pair of glasses are really magnifying glasses.
Huh.
Instead of having like my grandpa used to have a magnifying glass that he would read the paper with, and he would just hold it and read the paper with that.
You know what? I'm laughing only because my dad used to do that. He'd take the magnifying glass and read the newspaper that way too. So
yes. See, and Greg Shelton, look at him. He's got a flashlight that he can clip to his hat.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
You realize, you ever want a picture of a guy that can't get laid? You look at what Greg Shelton has on right now. I walk into a bar with a flashlight and my glasses hook.
I don't know. I remember who was the girl that was in love with him at Twin Peaks.
I think it was the other way around.
It might have been the other way around.
She might have got a restraining order before the end of that show.
I might have been.
But it was the first time in over a decade that I've actually seen Greg Shelton smitten and literally flirting and willing to get up and ask questions that really didn't need to be asked, but it gave him a reason to go talk to her. And he did get a number at the end of the day.
He did.
I was impressed.
I'm impressed, too.
I was impressed.
It's guys like Shelton that, behind the scenes we don't see because he claims to not like people.
Yes.
Right? So he goes out by himself. He might be pretty successful. It's possible.
Yes.
I don't know. If only Josie could talk. Josie's his dog, by the way.
That could be also because my standards are very low.
Well,
we know that. Oh, man.
Because one time at band camp.
Oh, my goodness. I'm really impressed by all the folks out here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people here.
Yeah.
A lot of people here.
And it's funny because I've already pissed off the dude in the brown hat.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll piss off some more before the day's over.
Well, I mean, those are goals. I mean, that's that's certainly part of it.
I did get a free bet, though.
You did get a free bet.
I did.
Some guy actually made a bet for you because you don't know how.
Well, I know how. Although, you know what's weird? These guys go up to these little machines and make their bets.
Well, sure.
Well, I thought there was a window. You go up to the window, and I want,
You want to talk to somebody?
I want to talk to somebody.
You want to talk to somebody.
I want to talk to somebody, hey, $2 to place, $2 to win, $2 to show. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You do the whole thing, and they'll explain it to you and take your money.
Yeah. We'll make sure you don't mess it up.
Well, the guy told me there's a window over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
There are windows. You can still do that.
All right. I'm just seeing people making bets.
The professionals don't necessarily want to wait in line at the window and then go to the machine and do their own stuff because they know what they're doing.
Well, they're waiting
that
in line
guy
at
bought
the
you a
machine.
ticket because you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Well, I don't, but I got a free $10 bet, which is really nice.
It is. What's it going to pay out?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We won't know because the odds will update, right?
He's going to track you down.
He might.
He's going to track you down if that thing wins. I mean, I don't think he has handed you your retirement.
I don't think so either.
He might not have even paid for your tab.
Because
at this point, it's just water.
These are the two favorites, I think, is what.
Yes.
So it's a box.
Yes.
I have no clue what that means. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. As we enjoy this NBA playoff run, you might want to enjoy the TNT show a little bit more than you normally would. You might want to watch it a little bit more than you normally would because this might be its final run. In all seriousness, Ernie, Chuck, Shaq, Kenny, this might be their last hurrah. And this is not a joke. This is not a whatever, because, you look at TNT, as Charles Barkley said on Dan Patrick today, they have never let the contract get out of the exclusive negotiating window. And they did this time. NBC has put in an offer, and now TNT, the deadline apparently is today for them to be able to match it.
If we lose the NBA, I can't imagine how bad it's going to be at Turner. But I really hope we keep the NBA. But, man, I will tell you, we've been talking about it. Because, this is the first time we haven't signed a deal during that exclusive window. We've always signed, it's never went out for open bidding. Never. In my 24, I think it's my 24th year, every single year, we've always signed during the exclusive negotiating period. So it's very stressful over here right now.
But it's got to be. But the problem is, and I mean, look, the NBA is not stupid. If NBC comes in with an offer that is double what you're paying right now as TNT, I mean, what's the NBA supposed to say? Nah, we like those guys at TNT. We're going to stick with them.
Well, and again, the idea is, do you just bring that crew over to NBC? Now, they all have contracts. Ernie Johnson has said, and he does other sports as well, that regardless, he plans on staying at Turner. Charles Barkley said today on the Dan Patrick Show, he doesn't know if this show works without Ernie Johnson.
See, I don't know how that works without Ernie, to be honest with you. And I can't speak for NBC. I don't know if they want all three of us.
I would think so.
Well, but like I say, our show won't be the same without Ernie. Ernie's the most important person on our show. So that's the thing that I wanted.
How about Adam Lefkoe?
Oh, I love Adam. Adam's great. But hey, listen, I love Adam. But I can't be giving people jobs, Dan.
Yes, you can.
Listen, see, that's the thing that's really scary about this whole scenario. I can't speak for Ernie, Kenny, or Shaq. Yeah, do I want us to stay together? 100%. But I can't say
Can
no.
you try to speak for Shaq? Let me hear how that sounds.
Well, Chuck, if you want to, we got to find a way to stay together. We got to go to NBC or Amazon or blah, blah, blah.
That wasn't a bad impression of Shaq.
It was actually pretty good.
Look, I will give Charles Barkley a lot of credit there. Get out there that it's not him, it's not Kenny, it's not Shaq, that Ernie is the guy. So if it's a package deal, that's the way he'd like to see it play. And Ernie's the most important part of that piece. And look, Ernie is, because he accepts his role.
Yeah,
he's the ringmaster of that circus, and he does it to perfection.
Well, and I think the problem is, if that group were to go to NBC without Ernie and say Adam Lefkoe gets that job, everybody is going to expect it to be the same, and they're going to compare it to what it was, and it would be different. Naturally, it would be different. And when you think about today's world, from when we were growing up, there were broadcasters that you watched that were must-see television. Play-by-play guys. You knew if, Pat Summerall and John Madden were calling the game, or Keith Jackson for college football. We don't really have that in today's sports world, with the exception of that TNT crew for basketball. And what they have is special, and I think that's what they're all realizing is, can they recreate this somewhere else? Now, that said, Charles Barkley said a couple of years ago when he was redoing his deal, he got it put in his contract that if TNT somehow lost the NBA, that he would be let out of his contract. He would become an automatic free agent.
We had a disagreement when I was redoing my deal 2 years ago about, well, what happens if we lose the NBA? And they're like, well, we don't know. And I said, well, what does that mean, you don't know? And I want to put myself in the best possible scenario. And I said, I want to be a free agent if we lose to NBA. And they said, no way. I said, no, there's going to be a way. And I said, guys, I'm not signing a new contract unless I can be a free agent in 2 years. Now, I want to make it clear. I love TNT. I love everybody at TNT, and they've been great for me. But I don't want to be in limbo if we lose to NBA. That wouldn't be fair to me. Like, there's no person watching this show right now want to be like, I don't have a job and know what I can do. I want to make it perfectly clear, if y'all lose to NBA, I want to be a free agent. So that's the situation now. And I can say that. I hope we sign the NBA. I love TNT, but it's nerve-wracking over here right now.
That's got to be. I mean, think about all the people they have employed there to do that stuff. I mean, there's a large amount, and you lose that thing. But I mean, again, I can't blame the NBA when they're going to double their money with NBC if that's how it turns out today. And again, we could get an answer before the show is over at 6:00 tonight.
Yeah, what they were saying is the TNT has until today to make their decision. So, and again, if you love that show, and I think most of us do, this could be their last run.
It really could, man. That's kind of sad.
Well, and you look at all the changes in the broadcasting world, and while it hasn't happened yet, there's been reports forever that the NFL media, NFL Network was going to get absorbed by ESPN. And you've seen the NFL Network making a ton of cuts. We saw, some cuts with some big names a couple of months ago. Today, you learned that Michael Irvin, his contract is not going to be renewed. Now, I don't know if that's part of the cuts that were in place or because he was with the NFL Network and he was doing that FS1 stuff, if that has something to do with it. But a lot of changes in the sports media landscape with the people that we like to watch and listen to.
You know, it's kind of weird because doesn't the NFL own the NFL Network?
Yeah.
With all the money the NFL has, and how in the world could the NFL Network be in trouble? Although, I'll be honest with you, there are certain shows on that network that were really good.
Yep.
And some that were
Yeah.
So maybe that is going to turn out to be a failed experiment.
Even though the NFL is doing fine, you know, as all the different divisions and whatnot, how they budget things, maybe I who knows? I mean, every business goes through it. They all want to make more money. The cost of media, all the shows that you have to produce, who knows? And you know, the NFL might be saying, you know, ESPN, you've been a great partner forever, and you guys know how to do it, and you do it better. You know, why do we want to try to recreate the wheel?
Well, hey, that to me, though, that opens up a whole nother can of worms. If the NFL is a part owner of ESPN, I mean, dude, you get into some hairy stuff when that happens.
You know, as long as I think Jerry Jones probably handles it best when it comes to team media coverage. When you look at DallasCowboys.com and all the shows that they put out, they can be very critical of what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. And when you read a Mickey Spagnola, when you read a Nick Eatman, when you watch some of those shows, when things are bad, they're going to tell you they're bad. They don't sugarcoat it. You know, like a lot of other teams do, you know, and some teams like the Spurs don't even really do news on their team, right? I mean, they just don't. So when you look at the way the Cowboys run their media, they're like any other outlet. The only thing that they're not allowed to do is break news, because if they have inside knowledge of, you know, a signing or something like that going on, you never see DallasCowboys.com breaking news, and that's by design. That's the one thing that I'm told they're not allowed to do. Outside of that, it's no different if they're working for a local newspaper, local radio station, local TV station. When you need to be critical of the team, of a player, whatever, they're allowed to do that. Not a lot of other teams have that kind of freedom within their own media departments. And I think if the NFL and ESPN were to kind of join forces that way, there would certainly be that understanding that we got to cover this the way we would always cover it, even though we're partners.
We'll see if that plays out. Yeah. Hey, I hope.
Well,
I hope Jerry Jones lives to be 125.
Good Lord,
because he's the only guy that is still understands the power of the media. He's the only one, and he uses the media to his to his benefit. Whether the publicity is good, whether it's bad, doesn't make any difference. The guy's a master at it, and he loves it. And that's a dying thing in professional sports.
It really is. Although in reality, I mean, ESPN and the NFL have been partners for years and years and years. Lots of contracts, all these leagues, in the way they're covered. So if that doesn't change, even though there's more involvement, I think they'd be fine.
It's the ownership part that scares me and should scare everybody. If the NFL owns part of ESPN, that's a whole different ballgame. Whole different ballgame.
Be interesting.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
It will be interesting. Next hour is going to be interesting here with us at Retama Park.
It is?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Our new morning show guys.
Yeah.
Well, half of them are here, and the other half, Rob Thompson, he's stuck on 1604. AJ, get used to it, brother. Rob will be here. It's 2:54 and 9 seconds. My guess is right at 3, Rob will appear from the ceiling. Somehow he will make his grand entrance. Somehow, he will show up. He will knock over a table. He will spill somebody's beer, and he will eat that dude's onion rings over there. But he will be here at 3 o'clock.
Wow, those onion rings look pretty good.
They really do.
I wouldn't blame him.
They really do.
Damn.
Well,
Yeah, food looks great here.
Food does look great here.
You think that dude would give us an onion ring if we asked him nice? I know.
I
He
mean,
didn't even blink.
No.
It's like, screw those radio dudes.
No, but he's so intent on that dog race right now, you can probably go get an onion ring. He wouldn't even notice.
He wouldn't even notice, right?
He wouldn't even
Now,
notice.
see, that's the dog races where you got to watch the poo.
Oh,
The
good
dog
Lord.
poops, man. Bet on that dog.
Here we go.
I'm telling you.
Here we go. We'll introduce you to A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson, the new morning huddle. Joining us live here at Retama Park next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need T-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. If you need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a dress shirt, a fishing shirt, Sam will get you taken care of. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from all kinds of industries. And if you need caps made, Sam is the only guy you need to go see. Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, just waiting for your logo. And he has all the popular caps as well. The Katie caps, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Nike, Cap America. You need caps, go see Sam over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The good folks at Wendy's have a revolutionary new product for you. Introducing the new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. It's like a time machine that takes you all the way back to now, the year 2024. It's the classic, creamy, orangey flavor you remember. Dare I say, it's new-timey. It's the flavor you grew up with, just all grown up. Head over to your local Wendy's establishment and get yours while supplies last. The new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. Here for the now, for now.
Limited time only. Participating Wendy's.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
For the last 4 decades, San Antonio sports has dared this community to dream big through the transformational power of sport. For 40 years, we've inspired youth to get in the game, motivated San Antonians to live healthy, been a force behind places to play, and hosted events that impact. As we celebrate 40 years of dreaming big, we invite you to dream big along with us. To support our mission, donate today at sanantoniosports.org.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at comparioninsurance.com.
If you're looking for affordable term life insurance but have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or have other health issues, call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Former Cowboys great Michael Irvin is out at the NFL Network after it appears the network is doing away with total access. Irvin is the latest in a long list of cuts at the NFL Network. Odell Beckham Jr. has a new home. He's signing with the Miami Dolphins. It is a one-year deal worth up to $8.25 million. And the Lakers are coachless. They don't have a coach right now. They fired Darvin Ham.
Joe Reinagle.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix on a Friday afternoon. Tama Park is for a day before the big Kentucky Derby. So you can come over here today and get your wagers in on the races tomorrow. And tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning, they're going to open this place up. Hat contest, mint juleps, all kinds of fun out here at Retama Park.
And between, 4 and 4:05, I'll be giving my expert picks on the Kentucky Derby. So you might want to get out here before that, and I'll hook you up.
We're going to make a change in the rundown. Reinagle's expert picks will be live at 7:03. 7:03 tonight.
All right, you're missing out. I mean, I'm just saying.
Although our expert, Frank Galosa, a bloodstock agent, he will join us at 4:35. And one of the cool things when you talk about coming out to Retama Park, we've talked about it, the great Lyle and Hahn show forever, and Steve Hahn always out here at Retama Park. Steve Hahn is here.
He is here. Isn't that cool? I haven't seen Steve in a long time, and he came up, said hello. And,
yes.
It's great to see Steve, man.
The great Steve Hahn.
Lyle and Hahn they owned this town for a while, radio-wise.
Absolutely, they did. Absolutely, they did. Very cool. And our new morning show. Now, you heard A.J. Hoffman a little bit this morning on the Morning Huddle. And, for the next hour, he's hanging out with us. Rob Thompson is stuck on 1604 traffic. And honestly,
what a joke.
I really thought Rob would be here on time because I've known Rob for so long. Like, there's always a disaster. There's always this. There's always that. But he somehow manages to get it done.
That's why you plan ahead.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a disaster.
Well, I mean, it's Rob.
Well,
I mean, you're learning.
Does he have a cloud following him around? Is that, what we should expect?
Rob just kind of exists to the beat of his own drum. And that's his charm.
Yeah,
that's his charm.
Word for it, I guess.
Yeah. Good luck, brother.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing like an arranged marriage, and then you realize, it'll
be interesting.
It'll be interesting. AJ Hoffman, this is fun as we get to know you. You've been around the building for a couple days. You're in the process of getting a job, which at our place is a pain in the ass. It takes a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of hoops to jump through.
But if you come out on the other side, I mean, you realize.
Well, I guess we'll find out Monday.
Well,
right? If I come out the other side, I don't know.
Well, next Wednesday we'll know. But no, I mean, you look at it throughout the process of getting to know you. You're coming to us from Vegas, but you're a Texas guy. More importantly, you're coming home.
Yeah, and that was kind of the biggest selling point on this place is being back in Texas, and I'm stoked to be here. I did radio in Texas from 2004 to 2021 between Austin and Houston, and Texas is home. So I've got a Texas tattoo on my arm. So when I've been telling people I moved here from Vegas, they're like, "Well, how did you already get that?" So it's It's in me, man. I'm a Texan through and through, and the opportunity to come back to Texas was just incredible to me. So I'm glad to be back here. Glad to be in San Antonio. Looking forward to getting to know the town.
So why did you get a Texas tattoo? This is what I want to know. And how long have you had that thing?
Probably like 10 years, something like that. It's
Did you forget in case you got lost somewhere?
No, it was one of those things like when you
weren't sober, were you?
Yeah, I was.
Really? Okay.
In the Army, you got to put on the little the patches on your own uniform that were the morale patches they called them. And I always wore a Texas patch, and just I thought, why not throw it back up there on my arm and just keep it with me. So that's why it's not red, white, and blue like your typical Texas flag. It's kind of the muted colors, and it just reminds me of the old days.
Well, there you go.
Nice.
You mentioned Army. You were in the 101st Airborne.
Yes, sir.
Don't call me sir.
Yes,
you know
sir.
that. You know that.
I know.
You know
I'm
that.
giving you grief.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but you understand the Navy is the superior of the branches,
funny.
and so you
Yeah.
do have to say sir there.
Yeah, for sure, pal. Yeah, no, I think it's fun. Like you being a Navy guy and Rob being an Air Force guy, it's like we've got a little bit of representation for everybody. So
I'm just a knucklehead who went to college and partied all day.
could have done Space Force is still an option.
Right. Well, is it?
He is spacey.
Or the Coast Guard.
The Coast Guard.
And don't make fun of the coasties.
Who made fun of anybody?
I don't know. I mean, I
know your little boat buddies
They're
watch each other's backs.
They're not the real Navy. They're not the real Navy. But
I had to use the Coast Guard once.
Did you really?
I was on my brother-in-law's boat out in the Gulf, and we may have had a couple of beers.
Okay.
I had more because I was not driving the boat.
Okay.
He had one hours before. We
Of
got
course,
in the boat.
yes.
I'm sure the statute of limitations have run out at this point.
Oh, we ran out of gas in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, that's not
wow.
Like I don't know, it was like a 26-foot Donzi, like just a speedboat, and we're just like floating out there. And of course, when they come, they have to come on board and check things out. And then we didn't have any. There was no evidence of any foul play at that point, and we waited. We decided, hey, let's wait a little while before we call them. So we just sat out there, and I kept drinking beer because I was not driving. And but they came and filled up our boat, and I was like, you know what? All this time I've made fun of the Coast Guard, and here they are coming through for me in the clutch, saving my life essentially. Like we're going to have real problems.
Rob Thompson has made a grand appearance here at Retama Park. Yes.
Hey, howdy.
Hey, how you doing,
Rob? Nice of you to show up.
I'm glad I'm here.
I know you de-dipped and everything. You're ready to go.
I'm prepared.
You put it right next to my actual beverage that I'm drinking from.
Yeah, you're drinking live on the radio, which is frowned upon around here.
Is that frowned upon here?
It really real. Have you met Lance Hawkins?
I didn't know that was
and you're on video, so I can't hide it. I mean, people are already commenting. Yes,
that's a prop.
Yeah, it's a prop.
It's that 3-2 stuff.
Yeah, no,
it's not alcoholic.
It's very strong lemonade here at
It's O'Doul's.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Yeah. What do you guys have a beer that sponsors this show?
Well, depending on the day, Flight by Yingling.
It's a Flight by Yingling.
Yes,
obviously.
of course.
Yeah.
So what's he going to say? All I'm doing is here supporting sponsors.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, no one told me that rule. I got a rundown of rules. No one told me
you want to know
not allowed to have.
You
want to
know because I'm guessing every person in management is listening right now because
from
this
here
is you want to know the worst rule that we have to deal with when it comes to stuff like this is when we're traveling, like when we're in Oxnard for Cowboys camp. We're not allowed to drink.
We have a rather peculiar accounting system.
Well, we're not allowed to turn in receipts that have alcohol
that even
on
the fact
yeah,
that alcohol
we
is
can
present.
drink.
It's like
That's
a kosher
unsurprising.
meal. We can't even have the receipts close to each other.
Yes.
A beer receipt close to our steak.
You can't just like cross it out with a magic marker.
You can't even redact. It has to be separate but equal receipts.
There are some good things because you don't really want to see the bosses to see how much you actually drink or don't drink. But the reality is,
you think they don't know?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, come on.
You're right. I mean,
they did hire us.
You think.
There's always alcohol in the interview process at dinner, right? But it's not allowed on the receipts.
Oddly enough,
keep that in mind
when I did my interview dinner.
I
I think the only person who drank was Lance, like the big boss. And I was like, so there was 5 of us there, and this is the first time that that I've like looked for a job. Like, so I've always like someone's come to me and said, "Hey, we want to hire you." This was like I was on the market, I was available, and I was like, you want to impress the interviewers. I had a rule of thumb in mind. If there's 5 people there, if 2 of them order drinks, I'll order a drink, because then it's 3 out of 5. That's not a crazy number. If only 1 does, I'm out. If 4 do, I'm out, because I don't want it may be some kind of a trick or a trap. Like they're all just trying to get wasted and see what happens.
Oh, it was a trap.
No, it was a
trap.
You were in the middle of a snake pit.
It was either it was going to be 2 or 4, or 2 or 3. If 3 of the 5, I would have been the 4th of the 5. If there was 1 square, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I was not going to do it with just 1, and I was certainly not going to do it if the 1 was the big boss.
Well,
that would have been crazy.
I'm thinking if the big boss is drinking, then sure.
Yeah, that's kind of open season.
I think that because I was still thinking, man, this is a trap.
See, dude, here's the first thing. Stop thinking so much.
No,
all right, you just got to stop
just
that.
go with it.
Just go with it. Whatever feels good, just do it. Because it doesn't matter.
You guys are just saying, I can't believe you're drinking a beer on the air. Like,
well, notice I didn't say anything.
Good.
I was actually thinking, man, I wish
you seem like
wish I had a beer
would
now.
Crush the beers on the air.
Yes. Yes.
You've got that Texas State vibe to you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Got to represent.
Southwest Texas State vibe.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
But he got the same drinking degree there that I got in the Army.
Exactly.
So we got a lot in common.
This place is popping.
It really is.
It really
there's a
is.
big race tomorrow. I don't know if you heard about that.
There's one today. I heard y'all talking. The Oaks is today.
Yeah.
Has it already gone on?
Well, I don't know. Tell me which one it is.
It's like 5.
There's races all over the place.
I've got some coin down here already at Churchill Downs.
Has the Oaks gone off already? Not yet.
Yeah.
See,
there you have it.
I got my expert over here.
Yes. Well, you got lots of experts in this room.
Oh, yeah.
And every one of them have a different person,
one
different
more
horse
race.
they think is going to win.
So someone
here.
asked me in the elevator, who's going to win the Derby?
Yeah.
I said, I don't. The black horse, or like I don't. Number 4. I have got no idea. You're asking the totally wrong guys. Like, well, what are you doing here?
We're in like the club, right? This is kind of
yeah.
I was down with the riffraff.
Oh,
there we go. Looking for the elevator, and
Did you find it?
Oh, I did. Actually.
Okay, good.
After I'd taken the stairs, I found exactly where I would have gotten off. But the where they were watching the TVs downstairs, there's a dude sitting on the railbird row with the TVs in front of him with binoculars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he's looking at a wall like 15 feet from him, and he's got binoculars.
It's habit,
like
force
full
of
on
habit. It might be a flask.
And he's watching the TV with that?
Yeah, he's looking at the TVs.
Well, he wants the real feel.
Yeah.
Just like he's at the race himself.
There's a dude over here with 2 pair of glasses on.
Well, I get that. I often do. Well, I often have one, and I'm looking for the other, and the other one's in my back pocket. One on my head, one in my eyes. And
do you wear 2 at the same time?
Oh, I'll find them and I'll pick it up. And the only reason I found that pair is the reason he found the other pair is because he had 1 pair on.
Bifocals are expensive, dude.
Yeah.
You want the this is the old school way. That's modern technology.
I was just kind of hoping one were the readers and the other were the magnifying
You
glasses.
see our on-site engineer wears glasses, but he doesn't look through them. He's looking over the top of them.
Well, but he also has a little fancy hook that he got on Shark Tank to hold his glasses for later.
You can't
and
see
just wait till he puts the flashlight.
That's so modern.
Wait till he puts the flashlight on his hat. He's got one of those clip-on flashlights that goes on the hat.
AJ, let me tell you, this guy is a chick magnet.
I talked to him for the first time.
This guy is
a chick showed up.
Right?
That was incredible what just happened. I said, hey, let's have a conversation. And a lady showed up. Smiled at me.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yes.
The Kavorka.
Yes. Yes, it's part of it.
Yes, we were.
Yeah. Did you order?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not going to turn him down.
Rob shows up in onion rings.
Yeah, Rob showed up late.
It's amazing how that happens.
It's crazy.
Well, thank you to
apparently we have onion rings.
Desperate need.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, so in reality, there was a guy over there, and I figured, Rob, you would show up, steal a guy's onion ring, and come over here. And apparently they just brought onion rings. That's how they do it at Ratama Park.
That's how
if you think
goes.
it will end up on your tab.
Dude, look, so
nice.
we thought about onion rings,
And
right?
Here they are.
I was talking about placing a bet. Some dude placed a bet for me.
Did it win?
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
It's
okay,
for the-
I'm
it's
about
for the
to
Derby.
think of something.
Tomorrow.
Oh.
And if it happens, I thought
it's crazy,
we'll see
right?
if it really occurs.
That's someone who works here.
Maybe.
That's a plant because they
think?
know that race is tomorrow. If it wins, what are you going to do? You're going to come back and cash it, right?
Well, of course.
And then maybe you're going to bet some more.
Well, I might. I'm probably going to bet some more before I leave today.
See, this is me. I don't know anything about horse racing. I've admitted that. And the first thing I did was put $20 in a machine and just say, all right, I'm going to push some buttons. My old co-host in Houston was a big horse racing guy. And I had a lot of opportunity to learn from him because there's a track in Houston too. And we would always, like you guys come here, we would always do our show out at the track.
Yep.
I never took the time to learn from him. I just sat around crushing beers because they had $2 beers at the horse track.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So like, what am I going to do? Not drink $2 beers?
You have to.
My station there had no rules about it. So we just drank $2 beers. But I could have learned about horse racing. I could probably be an expert by now. He actually wrote a book about it. I didn't use any of that knowledge, but I still I'm a degenerate. So I still first thing I did, $20 in the machine. Let's go. Let's see what we got here.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't like for a particular race. It was for the next race.
Just the next race.
Yeah. I said, I looked at the screen. It said, race 9, 26 minutes. I said, well, race 9 it is. Let's go, baby.
Did you win?
I've got no idea. I'm on the air with you clowns.
Here we go.
So you bet for today.
Yeah.
The other race is tomorrow. What am I going to wait a day?
He's got to pay for a move one way or another.
How much did you bet?
I bet $20.
Give me $20.
For what?
Just give me $20.
Well, why?
Give me $20.
All right.
What? And you're going to do it?
I don't know. I'm seeing where this goes.
Because I'm going to do with it what you just did with it.
Yeah.
And go put it in the machine?
Yeah. No, I'm going to go buy some beer.
Oh.
He's AJ Hoffman, Rob Thompson, the new Morning Huddle starting Monday. More with these games here at Retama Park on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Man, I tell you what, this rain can go away. I'm getting sick of it. But the thunderstorms, the hail, the wind, all of that kind of stuff, that's just what happens here in San Antonio and South Texas. And it does take a toll on your roof. You guys know that. Everybody that lives here knows that happens. You get those fly-by-night folks right after that, and they knock on your door, tell you they're going to make you a deal, and then they leave and you never see them again. Don't fall for that nonsense. Look, the name to remember is Stevens Roofing, because there is only one name in roofing that stands high above the rest. That is Stevens Roofing. Look, if you're in the market for repairs, a replacement roof, an upgrade, or you just want an inspection to make sure that everything is okay, work with the team that has been in business in San Antonio and South Texas for a long time, and a team that's not going anywhere. And that tells you everything you need to know. They stand behind their work. Stevens Roofing is the name you need to remember. The number you need to remember is this one, 210-785-0994. You can also get them online at stevensroofing.net. But keep this number handy. Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry, who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise in the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I got a little drunk the other night and went to my neighbor's house to see my dog that I gave him.
What? Hold on. You gave it away?
Yeah.
The dog's going to miss you and think you're coming to pick it up, and then he's going to be sad.
You're turning the dog's life into a Supreme song, man. He's like, set me free, why don't you, baby? You just keep me hanging on.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is a consumer alert to all U.S. taxpayers who owe the IRS back taxes or have unfiled tax returns. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, you can now take advantage of active programs that provide relief to struggling taxpayers and may reduce or eliminate what you owe if you qualify. Even if you are facing liens, levies, audits, wage garnishment, or already in a payment plan, call the Easy Tax Relief Helpline now to check what savings you may qualify for at 800-544-1553. You may qualify to reduce up to 99% of what you owe or for other special programs. Qualified and enrolled, you can rest assured that your assets are protected and all collection efforts will be stopped. Billions of dollars in savings are available through these relief programs for struggling taxpayers, but you must call to see if you qualify. To see what savings you qualify for, call 800-544-1553. 800-544-1553. That's 800-544-1553.
The Aggies play here. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at Retama Park, hanging out with the morning huddle. A.J. Hoffman, Rob Thompson, they officially get going Monday morning, 6 a.m.
So how long is it going to be till they cuddle?
The morning cuddle?
The morning cuddle.
Well, I mean, we've already seen Rob separate AJ from $20, so I think they're at the cuddle phase at this point.
Yeah, I'm way down, boys. Lost $11.08 on race 9, unfortunately.
At the Derby, so you're betting at least in the right track.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
okay.
at Churchill Downs, not at the Derby. The Derby's tomorrow.
That's right.
The track
Churchill
is
Downs.
Churchill Downs. I'm an expert. I don't like to brag.
Don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
Is it muddy there today?
It is. It's raining like
it's
hell.
raining, yeah. So, yeah, and tomorrow it might rain, it might not. That's what they usually say.
I kid you not. Some dude showed me his phone with the weather forecast, and at 5 o'clock it's supposed to rain like hell.
Okay,
is that what
time the race is?
That's what his phone said. Yes.
Is there a horse named like Poncho or Umbrella or Slicker that we could?
You're such a novice. You don't pick horses based on their names. You pick it based on numbers, or color, or something like that.
I'm good at this. Okay.
Sure. All right. Rob is still trying to figure out how to get into the YouTube stream, although
I had 4 tickets. One was a winner.
All right.
And it was, so I had the 7, the 6, and the 1 were my 3 horses.
Yeah.
I like to call them my key horses.
Your key horses.
Yeah. So I was keyed on those 3. So I did box exacta for 7-6, 6-1, and 6-7. And then I did the 6 to show. The 6 was the longest shot of the 3 of them. I said, give me the 6 to show. Well, some raggedy-ass horse won the race, and then it was 1 and 6. So the 7 let me down, and they let some other dopey horse win, but the 6 did show. So my long shot was a winner. My key long shot came in 3rd. So I won $9.
No, you lost 11.
Yeah, but you lost.
No, he won 9.
I don't like to talk about
You
it.
lost 11.
Are you married? Is that how you talk to your wife?
You lost, yes.
Like when you get home, you said you're a Vegas guy, and obviously I've been living in Vegas.
Yes.
If I come home from the casino and I played in a poker tournament, I win $400, and I go to the blackjack table and lose $200, I don't go home and say, I won the poker tournament. I made $200. I just say I won $400 at the poker tournament. Well, then you never talk about the blackjack money.
Well, you have to talk about the blackjack money.
Why?
Because then
How have you stayed married all this time?
Because then the wife expects $400 to show up, and you only have $2.
You just say, I reinvested it.
You reinvested it.
And that investment was bad.
The thing is, here's the beauty of that, though. When I say I reinvested it, because I would do so much sports betting, sometimes I'd bet money that would be, I won't see, like I may bet this team under 8.5 wins next season. She doesn't know when that money's coming back. We gotta wait. You won't see it till after football season.
Yes.
And then if you lose it, then you say, that was a loser. But hopefully you've got more winners than losers. So you just got to know how to spin it. It's all about the spin, Joe. You're going to learn this.
Well, first, my wife doesn't ask. So.
And I ain't telling.
Well, and let's be clear. His wife is a far better gambler.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, that's true.
Or luckier.
Luckier.
Yeah.
Because there's no skill to a slot machine. And that's all she does.
That's what you think.
That's what you think, pal.
There's no
I've got a video that
there's a way. They call them advantage players.
Uh-huh.
This is how I know this is the real deal. My co-host my co-host in Vegas was taking me around a casino showing me. He's like, okay, when the pig is getting this fat, this is when you want to play. Because once the pig gets so fat, like a pig on the machine, it's like on one of these slot machines. It's not like the old school, like where you pull the handle. There's these big giant screens. You guys have seen them. And each game has like a tell. And I thought he was full of it. But then I saw an old Asian man walking around pushing the same buttons that my co-host was. And if anybody knows anything about gambling, you know it's an old Asian man.
Yes, that is true.
And this, they made eye contact, and he was like, nothing here. And I was like, whoa, there's a real way to it. And I didn't buy it until that old Asian man looked at my buddy and was like, nothing here. And I was like, there's a real thing. So it's not just now. I don't know if your wife knows the old Asian tricks.
She must.
And his wife is not an old Asian man.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is she Asian?
No.
Well, maybe. Yeah. She's probably just lucky then.
Yeah.
She doesn't know the real way to win in Vegas, but there is a way. Apparently, there is a way.
So you find an old Asian man and follow him around. Okay.
The problem, you got to be in front of him, because if he finds it, you're not going to get it.
Well,
he's found it.
What button is he hitting?
He cycles through how many units you're going to bet or whatever, and what's left up there. I don't know. I just told you.
I feel like I just got a glimpse of the Matrix.
I just told you I had
a couple of numbers fall.
I had a horse racing expert co-host for 11 years, and I don't know anything about horse racing. I followed this guy to the casino once. He gave me one lesson in this stuff. I thought he was full of it for the first 20 minutes of this, until the old Asian guy was like, I was like, oh man, they've been telling me something real, but I forgot it all now. I don't know.
You watching the race?
No, I'm just trying to figure out where the story was going to go, because I thought you were going to say you hit a big jackpot.
No,
on the
I don't put money in slot machines. That's crazy. That's a waste of time.
They ran him out of Vegas. That's why he's here. He had broken the code.
What I love going to Vegas, and already this year. See, Super Bowl was in Vegas, then the half marathon was in Vegas, then we went back to Vegas for opening.
Do you run a half marathon?
My wife did.
He's good at watching.
I watched. Well, I didn't even watch. I mean, I made it to the finish line just in time. But I don't know. I've got about 18 days in Vegas already this year.
I've got you beat.
I know you've got me beat. But 18 days in Vegas is bad for your wallet and your liver. You've lived there.
Yeah.
When you live in Vegas, how different is it than when you just go to Vegas?
It's way different, because I didn't live in Vegas proper. So I live in Henderson, which is right outside of Vegas, but it's the second biggest city in Nevada. It's like its own little town, but you can tell it's different than Vegas, because you get 3-2 on blackjack. Whereas if you're in Vegas, you're getting 6-5. It's a ripoff. Don't play blackjack on the Strip. It's a sucker game. But I only go to the Strip when I'm either putting money in or taking money out of a betting account, a sports betting account, or I'm going to have a nice meal. Otherwise, I got no use for the Strip. It's just it's a sucker place. You got to go to the locals casinos. They got better odds. They deal deeper into the deck. I've got one of my old coworkers back in Vegas taught me how to count cards on a double deck.
Really?
So, yeah. He's not allowed to play blackjack in very many places. But
can he play at the El Cortez?
He probably could for a little while.
Anybody could
probably could for a little while.
Cortez.
But yeah, they'll after a while they know, like, once he gives them they'll say, "Can we see your ID?" And they see his name, they're like, "We're going to ask you not to play blackjack anymore, sir. You can play roulette, you can play pie gow, whatever you want to do, just no blackjack for you." And that's the thing about Vegas is that they love you if you're a big fish that likes to bet big on roulette or the slots. They love it. If you bet big on sports or blackjack, those are the closest things to beatable that Vegas puts up. They don't like you very much if you bet big in those things and win. I'm allowed to bet $5 a game at Stations casinos now on college basketball because
$5.
That's my limit.
Well, that's not even worth it.
That's the point. That's what they're telling. Because then they can say, "Well, we didn't say you can't play here. We just said you're limited." And what they do is they limit you to the point where, like, what am I even doing here? So, but yeah, blackjack and sports betting, if you win, they don't want you around very much. If you have a big night at the roulette wheel, you win $20,000 at the roulette wheel, they're going to comp your room because they want you to come back and spin that wheel again tomorrow.
Sure, yeah.
Because you're not winning that one twice in a row. But if you there's ways to beat blackjack and sports betting. So if you're good enough at that, they just say, "Thanks, but no thanks." You could go down the street and do that somewhere else.
More from AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. The morning huddle as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live out here at Retama Park. Of course, the Kentucky Derby tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'll be able to see it. They said they're pointing at me. I'm like, what?
That was well done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I got it.
You know, and the reason I'll be able to see it, AJ, is because Parkhurst New Vision had lens replacement surgery about a year ago. And I tell you what, I see better now than I've seen in 30 years. It's really incredible. And what makes me really happy is the fact that I get on social media and I see the Parkhurst New Vision social media, and it's like a little community now. It really is. And you see all the great stories about how Dr. Parkhurst and his staff have just helped people all over this town. It is really amazing. And the happy customers that you see, everybody is just raving about Parkhurst New Vision. You could be one of those too. All you got to do is take the first step and give them a call at 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. When you call them for the first time, you set up your consultation. You go in there, have your questions ready. They'll explain the procedures and how they go through everything and what they're going to do. And I guarantee you, as soon as you walk through the door, you're going to feel like family. Look, let them do for you what they've done for me and thousands of other people here in San Antonio and South Texas. Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
6 a.m. on the Morning Huddle, you'll find out whose voice you're hearing right now. You'll also find out who's advanced in the NBA playoffs. You'll find out if I'm bummed about the Golden Knights.
And oh, by the way, F1 action. Well, we won't talk about it, but it happened. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com. If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money swinging it. The insurance company and affiliates not available in all states.
This is the home of the Aggies. This is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Live out at Retama Park, along with the morning huddle, the new morning huddle. AJ Hoffman, Rob Thompson. Oh, you got to turn your microphone on, sir.
I got it. Our crack engineer on crack was
saying this is a good vibe you guys have going with that music.
Yeah. Well,
not bad.
You never know sometimes. As we get to know AJ Hoffman, first official day on air Monday. Although you started earlier this week, you've been in the building.
That's unpaid days, apparently.
Is it really?
No.
I was going to say.
No microphone, no pay.
That's right. You got to talk.
You get paid by the word.
Yeah.
As we get to know you, and when Joe, see, Reinagle was the local CBS Ken's TV sports anchor for 25 years.
Joe Reinagle?
This guy right here. Yeah.
That's right. Put some respect on that name.
Reinagle.
Golden boy.
Yeah, and if anybody calls him Bill Taylor, just go with it, right?
Yes.
He's the weather guy. And when Joe first started, it was like, a lot of people know who you are. They've seen you, but they don't know you. And first show, Joe was like, well, I love Dairy Queen tacos.
That's disgusting.
What do you mean it's disgusting?
I mean,
Good, have you ever had them?
Yes. I mean, it's not like Jack in the Box tacos, but it's.
Why are we throwing Jack in the Box tacos under the
I'm just saying it's not something you like when you go to Dairy Queen. You shouldn't be getting that.
Why not?
Steak fingers.
Steak fingers.
Oh,
or something like a dude. The
dude.
Chicken fried steak sandwich. There's a lot of options. I'd rather just you eat ice cream. I'd be like, okay, you don't eat the
ice cream is good.
You don't eat the hot eats. You only eat the cool treats. That's cool. But to say like, oh, I go for the tacos. That's
you know how popular Dairy Queen tacos are. You have no clue how popular they are. It's the most popular item on the menu.
No, it's not.
Sure it is.
The dipped cone is the most popular item on the menu, or the dilly bar. It's not the top
dilly
I
bar?
assure you.
Understanding,
Dude,
Yeah, you want to like challenge me on fast food, bro? I don't know. I know you. Listen, I know you've been in town for a long time. I get
Exactly.
it. All right, bow down
But
to
he knows
Joe
his way
Ryan.
around the DQ.
You want to talk to me about like Spurs history or whatever? Okay, you win. You come in here trying to like tell me I don't know anything about fast food. Boy, you're barking up the wrong tree, Bubba.
So what's the fast food? What's your favorite?
I mean, I'm a Whataburger guy. I'm a Texan. I'm a Whataburger guy.
You can't just say you're a Whataburger guy. What's on the
patty melt? Add jalapenos.
All right,
and then you get the onion rings, and you ask for the creamy pepper sauce, and then it tastes kind of like a bloomin' onion. And then you get iced tea, half sweet, half unsweet, because Whataburger makes their tea a little too sweet. So you go half and half. It's just right.
You're like a pain in the ass. I'd hate to be at Whataburger waiting on you.
That's all right. That's the bonus.
No, Burger King, you don't get it your way. Although I can't stand the onion rings at Whataburger. I think their onion rings are awful.
Okay. Well, have you tried them with the creamy pepper sauce?
That I haven't, but I don't think it would make it better.
Because their fries aren't like if you said what's Whataburger's weak spot?
It would be the onion rings. I mean, their fries are all right, but yeah,
you know what's all right is their ketchup. Their ketchup makes up for the fries being mediocre.
Well, that's why they sell it at HEB.
I love the way that AJ dove in and defended everything about. Well, have you tried the pepper sauce?
Yeah, no.
I mean, dude, you're not giving them a fair shake.
You're eating onion rings wrong. That's all.
Well, I mean, now when you look at it, now I didn't mean to get on a tangent, but it was like, all right, we learned about Dairy Queen tacos on Joe's first day. What's the?
Oh yeah, this is about me.
Have you tried the pepper sauce on the rings?
Well, yeah. So I mean. So what's one thing about you that like people will be like, really? That's strange, kind of like Dairy Queen tacos.
Strange. Oh, I don't do any strange things.
I doubt that.
I'll give you some trivia about me. I hear you guys talking about barbecue. I've talked to Rob about barbecue. In 2017, I took my sons and my wife, and we did the Texas Monthly Barbecue Tour, the top 50, and we were in the first 10 people to do it. So I went to every top 50 place in the state, and I showed up at my house when we finished, and we had 4 times every prize, which was all Yeti stuff.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So I had like my entire front porch was just stacked with Yeti coolers, floor to ceiling, because I don't think they expected anybody to take 4 people with them when
we
they
are
did it.
going to delve deep into that.
Yeah.
Because I'm really curious about a lot of different things. Because I've seen that trail. I've read that. I read his articles. I know the dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you've hit
Daniel.
those spots.
Yeah. At least in 2017, there's been some changes.
Oh, yeah, there's
since.
always changes. But to go and do it in the region, I don't think a lot of people realize how regional some of the Texas barbecue is. I'm curious about East Texas sausage and going and getting some of the up in the northeast part of Texas. That sausage up there is a little different.
Oh, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Everything's a little different up there.
Did you get those little short sausages up there? I'm trying to think.
Beaumont. That's Beaumont stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
A man like us.
So well, there you go. All right. So with your barb, do you do a lot of your own?
I do.
Okay.
Although now I'm here with no grill, so I won't be for a while until all my stuff gets here. But yeah, I like to cook a little. Rob told me he smashed you in a ribs contest.
There's a lot of debate on that.
Well, I saw a picture of your ribs, and quite honestly, your ribs look disgusting. At least compared to Rob's.
Rob's are the ones that look disgusting.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yes.
Oh, maybe it was that. Maybe,
Yeah.
I think I might have been wrong.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
but
man.
Rob made a grand entrance. One, he was like 2 hours late.
You can't.
Oh,
rush.
it's like
you
for the
can't
show.
rush perfection.
Yes.
Can't rush perfection.
But hey, listen,
meat has its own
competition
mind.
cooks.
I
There's
know.
a time.
I know.
My
Sorry.
ribs had kind of already
was
been
late.
devoured by the people waiting for Rob to arrive. He shows up at the house and then immediately knocks Joe's tri-tip onto the floor.
I did not.
My
knock
great
that off.
tri-tip.
Tri-tip, very underrated meat. Man.
It really is. But it
it's
ended up on the floor.
It's big out there
because
on the
Rob
West
knocked
Coast.
it on the floor.
I did not.
You did not what?
Knock it off.
What happened?
I'm telling you.
I'll tell you what
not
happened. He
me.
left his dip cup sitting on top.
Yeah, so you can throw whoever
I'm not
was
going
under
to
the
throw
bus.
who it
Do
was under, but it was not me. I took the fall, but it wasn't me.
It was his wife.
No, it wasn't my wife. It was a guest at the.
Who was it?
I'm not going to say.
Well, you can't.
She was mortified. I will not. It was someone that's close to us.
Really?
Very close friend. Yes.
Huh.
It was Morgan.
Yeah, no, she wasn't.
No. I was at the rib contest, so I know who won, and it's his daughter's fault that he lost.
Yeah.
How? Like what happened? Did she like?
I don't really know because we never really did
watercolors.
We never really did a judging contest.
No.
And
I just claimed I won.
And by the time, I think by the time we all got around to, I don't know, trying to figure stuff out, a lot of drinks had been had. And then my daughter was like putting papers in a cup and trying to figure out what was what. I have no idea.
How old's your daughter?
25.
No,
she's multi.
Sorry, bro. You can blame losing on like if you you had a child daughter, like a little kid who was like, "Oh, Daddy, I spilled my Kool-Aid on your rib rub or whatever." Like, okay,
it's fine.
But,
I mean,
you can't blame a grown ass person.
All we really determined was, there will be another cook-off.
It just won't be ribs.
The tri-tip would have won the whole night, but we'll never know.
Yeah. Well, no,
we'll never know.
I'm
sorry. I
was
stood
that
on the meat.
good.
Oops.
It was that good that people were eating it off the floor.
It was actually so light and airy. It
You
never
just
actually
cut off
hit
the
floor.
whatever part hit. You cut that off.
Well,
You've only got bark on one side.
I do keep a rather clean house, so I mean, you can't eat off.
We
the
could.
floors.
You do or your wife does?
We do. Yeah.
You clean the floors?
No, we have a Roomba.
Okay. Yeah, your floor ain't that clean, man. Let me tell you. I wouldn't eat that tri-tip, but count on a room.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah, you would have.
Well, when you're drunk and hungry, you'll eat just about anything.
That's true.
That is
But the poor man is here without his offset. Let's offer some sad condolences. To him. He is separated
So I'm
from
just
his
I'll
beloved.
be. Now, Rob said something crazy to me the other day.
Okay.
He said,
I can cook a brisket better than Franklin's.
Wow.
Jason Minnick's can too. I will usher both of us up there.
I'm going to say this now. I'm going to say this now. You're a moron. Then.
No.
And here's why you're a moron.
I know the difference.
Because if you could cook a brisket better than Aaron Franklin, you wouldn't be sitting here.
No,
with
I
us
can only
slugs.
cook one brisket better than Franklin's. I can't cook 1,000 a day better than Franklin's. But you let me focus in on one. You give me 18 hours, you will not know the difference. You will not know. You will, and I'll tell you, Minnick's is better at a brisket than I am.
And again, if you're doing one, I can't do
100. I'm not going to claim to be a chef.
or all of that. The amount of work that it goes into one. But when I look at like a Franklin's or a Pinkerton's, I don't even put myself into that category.
That's because you're smart. It would be crazy to do that.
Well, it would be, but
that's like imagine you play pickup basketball and you're like, oh, I'm just like Wimby.
Dude, I'm 5'7".
How high's the rim?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know I wasn't trying to take a shot at you. I was talking to the other people here.
Yeah.
The normie height people here.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mean that. I meant everybody else would be like,
not challenged.
But yeah, it's like if you can't just say I'm like, I can keep up with the best in the world at this.
Rob does
I
a hell of a
didn't say
brisket.
keep up. I said one off. I can do it, and I believe most guys with enough love and enough time can do it. It's the repeatable thing. Now, could I do that same thing twice in 2 days in a row? Probably not.
Now,
but give me a one off. I think I could compete with anybody.
Before I left here, I was in my pool in Vegas, and I got across the pool real fast, and I was like, you know what? One race, Michael Phelps, maybe. Like I'm not saying I could do it every time, but I'm not saying I could get through the trials to get to the Olympics.
I wouldn't bet against you,
but one time,
dude, I would.
Maybe, yeah, because you've got sense in your head.
I'm looking at you. I know. There's no way.
A couple other things. People on YouTube, some of the long-standing things that have gone on this radio station. Are you a gizzard guy?
Like chicken gizzards?
Yes.
I mean, will I eat them? Or like, do I
on a dare?
Would you eat them?
Or would I order them?
Gizzards. Would you order them? Would you eat them?
No, I wouldn't order them, but I would eat them.
Like Bush's chicken has gizzards. Would you get gizzards?
No, I would rather have the chicken.
Well, along with it. Like you wouldn't get gizzards as a meal, but as a side. Would you get gizzards with your chicken?
No.
If they're sitting there, would you eat them?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. They're the most disgusting thing ever.
It's not the. I mean,
bags.
they're not pretty bad. There's worse stuff.
They're awful.
I'll eat a lot of things, man. But yeah,
Rob, are you a gizzard guy?
No, man. Skin bags full of sand. Why would I want
That's
that?
awful.
I'll deep fry it and make it even more chewy.
Yeah, I'll eat literally every part of a pig.
Yeah,
like every part of a pig. And I have eaten every part of a pig. I'm a meat guy. So whatever it is,
I'm not sure gizzards are meat.
I'm not sure they are, man.
Dude, I'm not sure.
It's meat.
You could say it's meat. I think It was like an intestine or something. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's chewy as hell.
Well, that's the thing that they use. It's where
nutrients.
it grinds the seed. It's the sack that holds the sand that grinds their food down before their stomach.
Speaking of sacks, have you ever had turkey fries?
Speaking of sacks,
I don't think I've had
the
turkey
long
fries.
ball. Chicks dig the sack.
Turkey fries are the turkey's stones.
Nuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a delicacy.
Really?
Oh, they didn't say that about bulls too.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, if you didn't know, right? If somebody just handed you a plate of
what's
bull
it look
balls, and you wouldn't know.
What do turkey fries
I think
look
you
like?
know, Joe.
Balls?
How big are they?
Well, it depends on the turkey. I mean, that's like asking a guy, well, how
you
big are
want
you?
the chingon turkey?
Well, that was my next question.
You're not going to get full unless you get the alpha.
Yeah,
you know
if
what
we're
I mean?
talking about
Whoa.
like daddy turkey. I mean, if it's enough to, if it's enough for a meal, I'll try it.
Those
I'm
teen
not
turkeys
opposed.
is like a snack. You
Used
know?
to be an appetizer at a steakhouse, and I'm from a little town called Alice, Texas, and it was actually an appetizer, turkey fries.
I've heard of Alice, Texas,
And I didn't know somebody's
What
put
do
them
they
in
look
front
like?
of me.
Little deep fried marbles?
Yes,
What-
yeah.
So you'll eat
Bigger
that,
or
but not gizzards.
Well, I didn't know what it was, and once I found out what it was,
So it was good until you found out what it was.
It wasn't bad, actually.
See,
Yeah.
but, and then you got scared.
It was, yes, it
He
wasn't
knows when he's
bad.
got something
right.
good in his mouth.
All right.
All right. Gilberto
Hey,
on
see
YouTube
more wiener.
Hello, Gilberto.
wants to know with your chicken fried steak,
Oh, we need to know
Yeah,
this.
chicken fried
This
steak
is
guy?
important.
I like chicken
All
fried
right.
steak.
gravy,
Yeah.
ketchup.
Like instead of gravy or in
No,
addition to gravy?
In addition to.
Okay, so this is my take on steaks in general. Let me make it a little bit broader.
Okay, first of all, it's not a steak.
Okay, let's say, but I'm
Pounded
just saying,
hamburger
okay,
meat.
if we're having chicken fried steak and it's a high quality chicken fried steak,
Is there such thing?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not putting ketchup on it,
No, it's a chicken fried
especially
ribeye.
if it's like a flavorful gravy. If it's a bland ass gravy, I could see adding some ketchup. But it's like, if I go to a nice steakhouse, what's a nice steakhouse in San Antonio?
There's 3 or 4.
There's a
like
bunch,
local,
so-
Myron's, Bohannon,
Okay.
Ruth's Chris, something like that.
I go to a
Or-
place like that, I'll order my steak blue. I don't need. I just need you to like warm it up a little
Oh,
bit.
you're one of those.
I like.
knock the horns off,
Not
make
me.
it legal.
Not
Yeah,
me, but I'm down. I get it.
But if I had a steak at Chili's, I'm not ordering rare.
Do you use A1 sauce at Chili's?
I probably not. No.
No.
Even then, I still don't. I don't put sauce on my
that's
steak.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
a
Good
sin.
steak doesn't need sauce,
Yeah.
but then again, I'm
Well,
probably not.
we're talking about Chili's.
I'm
about
probably
bad
not going to
steak.
order a steak at Chili's.
Let's get that with the
there-
lamb
there-
fries
there's that.
special on Thursday.
Yeah.
Is it lamb fries or turkey fries?
Let me tell you, you get the lamb fries and the deep fried cojones.
See,
Man,
Reinagel,
that's the Thursday special.
Reinagel puts ketchup with his chicken fried steak with the gravy. He and it's gross. He puts the ketchup on
Yeah,
the
it's
plate
unfortunate.
and then mixes
I've
the
heard of people
gravy
who
in
do
there.
that.
And
It's not
gross.
crazy.
It's gross
It's
looking.
just unfortunate.
It's
It-
delicious.
It's how a child would eat.
and it
very
looks
much.
disgusting.
I mean,
It's delicious.
It
Do
looks
you put ketchup
disgusting.
on your macaroni and cheese too?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
No.
I was gonna say maybe he's just a grown kid.
Well, this is
Yeah,
accurate.
yeah,
Yes.
What kind of breakfast cereal do you eat?
Well,
The fact that you can answer that question tells me a lot, right?
I like Captain Crunch,
But not
with crunch berries.
You like, but not all berries, right?
Not all berries.
All berries is too much.
That's too much.
You know where I got that quote from? You know how I knew that? That's what my 12-year-old said a week ago.
All berries are too much.
All berries is too much berry. He's like, I like crunch berries,
Yeah,
but I don't want the all berries because it's too much berry.
just the red ones.
Yeah. So I mean,
which one carves
it's like
the
a
skin
child
off the
is what
top of
happened.
your mouth?
all
Can we
Captain
eliminate
Crunch
those?
does.
Yeah.
It all does. That's what it's. Yeah.
We get the sandpaper berry
You
out.
got to toughen up your mouth a little.
I do. Well, there's jokes
Tell
there,
you-
but I'm gonna
tell you
I'm
never
gonna party on, baby.
You've never spent any time in prison.
but I wanna get back to
Crunch
the-
wouldn't bother you.
I want to get back to the deep fried nuts. Before we That's what we do in the morning. See, when y'all are asleep, we
have deep fried
free
nuts?
reign.
Yeah,
Well, no, we can order
The
those.
bosses aren't even awake.
not
for
even
the morning
awake.
show.
6 to 10 a.m.
Yeah,
That's right.
The morning huddle.
We're just sobering up.
You're just sobering up.
6 a.m.
Are you sure?
Well, maybe not yet.
All right. Now
By the way, take care of your microphone. First thing I tried to grab your
dude,
microphone.
I heard you
moved, it
broke
fell
my
apart.
microphone the other
Oh,
day.
I mean, you were here. Like,
That
you
was-
tell me what happened.
Look,
Let me tell you.
I walk right in, and the other day you were in there for 10 minutes, and then my microphone broke.
You're like the guy, like You remember on Chris Farley and David Spade and Tommy Boy when he breaks the car all to hell and then he says he pulls the door off and it falls off. He says, "What'd you do?" It's just like that.
Yeah.
Like you broke the microphone. I touch it, it fall apart. You're like, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
It had somebody laid the trap. There's
No
no
doubt
doubt that it was left like that.
No, it's all right.
It was beautiful. Whoever did it. It was
I wish I could take credit for that.
And it was not a practical. No one did it, but it's the buildup. Here he comes. We led to it. The intro music is coming.
I can tell it's Minix's mic though because the screw is too short for the hole.
But
that's a problem.
But it's too. Yeah. And the engineers are trying to because it broke the other day during the show.
Oh, he grabbed it, we were ready to go, and mic in hand.
It's entertaining when that happens during the show.
It's
so
hilarious.
Just
the
get ready for it.
professionalism.
Yeah,
dove right in. You'd never know.
Yeah, it's right there. It's good stuff. What are you doing, Shelton? What?
Killing them.
You're killing them. We're not done yet. Well, it's not 4 o'clock. It's 3:54.
He's had enough of this.
He really has.
You know who's not a fan of the new morning show? That guy.
Grumpy ass Greg Shelton?
Yeah, he's over here like.
He's not a fan of much.
Oh, you're going to get to know Greg Shelton intimately.
Yes.
Today
Intimately.
I said, hey, can I get a power strip?
You haven't been here long enough for a power strip.
You need to be your 6 months. You don't need to use that much electricity.
His office and ask for electricity.
And then he goes and brings me one, and he sees one on Rob's desk. And he's like, there's one right there.
I had to work here 10 years to get that
I said,
thing.
that's on Rob's desk. I'm not just going to take his power strip. He's like, does it look like Rob works here?
That was my 5-year reward. I got a power strip.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
So he basically told me, whatever I need, just take it off your desk.
Just take it off. It doesn't work. But you can have whatever you
Rob
like.
won't notice.
No, I wouldn't notice. I wouldn't. We won't even get into my moving of my office.
We're office mates now.
Greg had to go through my desk. Literally, I had a desk that had paperwork on the top, like front and center, on the to-do list from March of 2020.
When we went home,
the day before we locked down, there was still paperwork on the top of my desk.
My desk drawers don't open on my desk.
It was scary.
Really?
Oh, you got mine?
Clever move.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
clever move.
They're just stuck. It's sticky.
Yeah,
They're
like I don't want to explain anything in that bottom left drawer.
Wow.
It's like the model.
All that
like
stuff
IKEA or
was there
something.
when I got
there,
here.
but it doesn't function.
Uh-huh.
This is what it looks like, but you can't use the function.
Somebody was doing some kind of news story on Asian porn. I don't know what it was, but it ended up in my desk. And I didn't want to touch it, so it's still there. Sorry.
Well, I like porn.
Have fun. Yeah. 6 to 10 a.m. The morning huddle. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not sure I am, but I'm all in.
You're going to be there on time?
I'll be there.
I'll be there about
so far,
6:30.
So far with AJ, my track record is late at every opportunity, so I'll try to be there on time.
We've got our seller that's here right now. We had a sales meeting, an intro sales meeting.
Natalie.
I'm meeting everybody on the sales staff. Guess who walks in 5 minutes late? Natalie.
Natalie.
Starts asking questions that we'd already gone over. Like, well, of course she did.
Yeah.
It's like every other station.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's how it goes. Sales
Looking
meetings
forward to
start
it,
too
boys.
early.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Boys,
Looking
thanks
forward
for
to
hanging
it.
out. Go drink some beer and win some money.
My pleasure.
More from Atama
Salute.
Park as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 410 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Quickly, would you like to rap at the Testicle Festival? Can you give me a little rap?
You want me to spit a rap?
Yeah, I want you to spit a rap.
About balls? Yo, Testicle Festival. It's like an extraterrestrial. Widen my eyes when I see them calf fries.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
For the last 4 decades, San Antonio sports has dared this community to dream big through the transformational power of sport. For 40 years, we've inspired youth to get in the game, motivated San Antonians to live healthy, been a force behind places to play, and hosted events that impact. As we celebrate 40 years of dreaming big, we invite you to dream big along with us. To support our mission, donate today at sanantoniosports.org.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more OSB sheathing. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Get low prices on the materials you need today because Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
Okay, guys, we got to put our trays up for takeoff.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in the back. We could only get 3 seats together.
Daddy has my pillow.
We'll get it later. Can you not put your feet up, please?
Why aren't we going?
We must be in line for takeoff.
Like security?
Well, that was a different line.
I have to go.
We just sat down.
But I have to go.
The seatbelt sign's on.
Why aren't we moving?
Hey, no kicking.
We're just 15th in line for takeoff.
Son of a...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text HUNK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text HUNK to 321321. That's HUNK to 321321.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
NBA playoffs tonight. The Cavaliers lead the Magic 3-2. They look to close things out. Tip-off from Orlando is set for 6 o'clock. That's going to be followed up by the Dallas Mavericks and the LA Clippers in Dallas. Dallas looking to close things out on their home floor. They're going to tip things about 8:30. By the way, Clipper star Kawhi Leonard, now he's been ruled out for tonight's game. He's got a knee injury.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to Big Day as
Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at Retama Park as we get ready for the Kentucky Derby, which is tomorrow. But you can come out here today. I mean, this place is hopping. If you're coming out here, we're on the 3rd floor.
What is it called? The clubhouse?
The clubhouse.
Yeah. So it's nice. A lot of people out here enjoying some food, some drinks, placing their bets. I just heard that the Oaks is going to go off in about 40 minutes or so.
Okay.
And that's like at the that's like the pregame for the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. It's races that are going on at Churchill Downs.
Well, I'm just
now.
saying, but that's like the big one.
It's the big one on today. The big one today.
Yes.
And then, of course, the Derby tomorrow with races all day.
Me and this guy over here, we have a strategy.
You have a strategy?
We have a strategy, yeah.
I don't trust that guy.
Well, he's telling me everything.
He's wearing a Dodger hat. I don't know if you can trust that guy.
Well, he makes about as much sense as anybody else I've talked to. So
yeah, but you've talked to Rob and AJ.
Well, there you see.
Yeah.
This guy's a genius compared to those two guys.
This is true.
That was fun.
So what's your strategy?
It's going to be I'm going to bet on number 11.
You're going to bet on 11
because that's what he told me to do.
Is he betting on 11?
I think so. Although he's waffling on me over here.
Well, see, now that's it. I mean, if you're betting on 11 and you know that guy has put money on 11, then go with that. It's the guy that says, I like this horse, that horse, and that horse. Well, what are you betting? Well, this one, and that one.
Well, see,
right? If he gives you different horses, right, and it doesn't make you more money to lie, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just how much are you willing to put on that?
Well, here's what I don't like. Because the horse started out at 4-1.
Okay.
But he said it probably will be 3-1 by the time they start the race.
Okay.
It's not like it's not like sports betting. Like if I bet, I don't know, the Clippers tonight, which I would never do, +5, and it goes down to 4 at tip-off, I still get +5. It should be the same way in horse racing.
It should be, but it's not.
Well, it sucks.
It does. It's where the money is. Just eat a couple onion rings and be happy.
Well, I might.
I mean, you could. You'd be like Natalie.
Those onion
She's
rings
eating all the Rob's
popular.
onion rings.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rob doesn't care. I think Rob's sleepwalking right now.
Rob probably is sleepwalking.
Yeah, he's sleepwalking about right now. So
I was talking to Rob earlier on the phone, and you talk about sleepwalking and then a nightmare. Because Rob, and again, Rob and I have known each other for a long time, and Rob goes on these daily walks now.
Nice.
And so, well, look at him. You could tell. I mean, he's been working his ass off, right? And
walking?
Yes. And walking's a lot of work for Rob. So, I mean, you don't realize how big of a deal that is. And I know it's going to be a rough weekend for Rob because his wife is out of town. It's kind of weird because your wife is out of town.
Yes, she is.
I know you can take care of yourself.
I can.
Rob can't. Right. And Rob will always have these incredible stories about trying to get things together when he knows his wife is going to be home so he doesn't get in trouble. Right. So he's on, we're talking on the phone like, hey, whatever. He's coming out to do the show today, blah, blah, blah. And and he's in charge of animals. So he's walking a dog and Rob lives on this property. Right. And he's got chickens. And Rob is down a chicken because he's like, oh my God, I just walked onto this horror scene. There are feathers everywhere. We've lost a chicken.
Oh, wow. Is that a coyote or what?
Oh, I see footprints. I know what got it. Now he's all worried about which one.
Do they all have names?
Well, of course. I mean, they're his kids. Yeah. Well, you got to turn your microphone on. There we go.
Yes, they have. Well, see, I'm down to a group of 7 chickens that began with a group of about 25. I mean, us and coyotes, is
it coyotes?
When you watch the cartoons and the coyote loses in the cartoon, that's not the real world. Coyote wins most of the time versus a bird. So it's an ongoing battle, and we're down to like 7. Though,
wow,
right now, my father is. We've got a brood of about 22 little 6 to 8 week old chicks that we're growing to get back to up the herd, herd flock.
Sure.
I guess it's chickens, it's a flock. So my flock of chickens, as we went out this morning, I woke with 7, I thought. But we're down to 6.
Wow.
And when we lose a chicken, you can tell by the feather pattern what got them. See, we've lost enough chickens to know. We believe like raccoons will only eat like the liver.
Really?
So you'll just find like a disemboweled chicken, which is a lovely sight.
I'm sure.
And the raccoons are the culprit.
I didn't know raccoons ate chickens.
Oh,
really?
Raccoons are basically monkeys.
See, the things you learn.
Raccoons are awful, man. They have opposable thumbs. They can do whatever they want.
Wow.
And they can climb through.
All right.
Raccoons are not kind.
Okay.
So a coyote has nothing left but a beak. I mean, coyote.
They won't eat the beak?
No,
So they eat gizzards.
They'll eat there's a coyote will eat everything. There's nothing left but the beak. And then we have feral cats. Cats are they don't eat the whole thing because they can't. They're not big enough. So you'll find like a wounded chicken, like been attacked by a cat, or a dead one that's only had like a couple of stuff out. This one was just feathers.
Nothing. So it was a coyote. So
I think it was a coyote.
Right, right.
We have had a mountain lion sighting in the last 6 weeks, but this one it couldn't have been a mountain lion, or there would be no chickens left.
Yes.
Or the guard dog, which evidently was asleep. At some point in the morning, she was worried. She looked a little concerned, but she didn't stop the slaughter immediately.
that guard dog.
Well, I don't blame her.
Yeah,
it's a little rainy. She doesn't work hard on rainy days.
It's probably like you see the guys like, you're just going to take one.
There's only 6 left. I mean, they're not even going to notice.
We got enough eggs.
That's right.
We could be down a chicken, no big deal.
Come back about 8 weeks. You're really going to eat. They'll bring those little ones out. You'll have a real buffet.
Goodness. That's funny as hell. Raccoons, who knew?
Oh, raccoons are awful, man.
I didn't know they ate chickens.
Yes, they were legit, but they only eat one part of the chicken.
So they just bore out the liver?
I guess. I've never actually watched it, but it's a gruesome sight.
I would imagine.
They go after it, and it's not an easy organ to find, evidently.
Since you're the, wildlife expert on the show right now, I periodically, about every 4 or 5 days, on my cameras at the house, I'll see 3 raccoons.
Yeah.
There's only 3. And I'll see them on the cameras. They'll appear.
Do they wave?
They're just going across the driveway. I don't know where they're coming from or where they're going. They don't seem to do anything at the house. But what the hell are they doing?
I'm telling you, raccoons are monkeys. I mean, they have the mentality. They can run. They can climb. They can chew through. I have no. I hate raccoons. I'm going to get down to it. No,
but honestly, I mean,
they're smart enough. They're planning to take over your neighborhood.
Well, I mean, they might. I mean, I don't know where they're going, but
they're coming from the meeting.
Well, but
the organization meeting.
But you can see where they're coming from. Like they're coming down the street. And they go across.
Are they pointing out stuff like you're going to
I mean, they're just, but it's always 3 of them, and they're just going across. They don't come on the front porch because they don't show up on that camera, and then they're just gone.
They are.
They've never gotten into our trash.
They haven't gotten.
Well, they're scared of your owls.
Oh, they might be scared of the owls.
Oh, do you have owls?
Well, I have owls because I've got a couple of birds that are trying to build a nest on my front porch light.
Oh, do you have barn swallows is that what's going on?
I don't know what the hell they are. They're birds.
Is it like a mud nest or a?
Yes.
That's a barn swallow.
Well, yeah. Well,
the good news about barn swallows is they'll eat all your mosquitoes. The bad news is they're going to crap all over wherever they are.
Well, they're not building a nest there.
You've run them off.
Well, I mean, it's an ongoing battle.
It is.
It's an ongoing battle.
And they come back to where they're born. So if anybody is born there, they're coming back.
Well, nobody's been born there because they haven't been able to build the nest there. Every time they show up,
just letting you know.
We do things and they go away, but it seems like every time it rains, they come back and start over. And then we go through the process of, destroying. And then they
those could be purple martins, though.
I don't know what the hell they are. They're birds. And I don't want them on my porch.
So Minix calls Amazon and gets a couple of fake owls to put on his front porch.
Did it work?
Yeah.
No, apparently not.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Oh, they haven't come back.
Well, I mean, no, they come back, but I mean, the owls work. I mean,
well, it's probably the birds are probably those are fake.
You certainly hadn't seen any other owls.
Those are fake.
They've scared away all the other owls.
And the raccoons too. The raccoons are gone.
Well, it's only 3 of them.
Yeah,
only 3 of them that have seen through it.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's working, but no, there's no nest. But every now and then when it rains, you'll see that the birds have been back.
I can tell you this: the raccoons are up to no good.
Yeah,
they're scheming little SOBs. They're up to no good. They're ruffians in the neighborhood. You're gonna wanna watch this.
Oh, I'll send them over to Hal's house.
I'm just send them over to Hal's
or they
house.
can go visit the nuns across the street.
So they're scouting the neighborhood.
I have the feeling they're reconning for a mission. And you're going to wake up and like your garage fridge is gone, like all the meat. They broke it into your house and they've carried all the meat away because that's what raccoons do.
Really?
Thieving little SOBs.
Really?
Wow.
All right.
And tomorrow we're going to go off on possums. Don't even get me started.
Dude.
I
I
don't
don't like
give a
possums.
damn about your dog.
That's not going to happen.
And
They're
dogs.
they're just big rats.
They are indeed. Although they eat fleas.
They eat fleas.
Yes, that's what I've been told.
Oh, wow.
That's the one redeeming character.
All right.
That's not enough.
I'm glad that I got a chance to talk about this.
Yeah,
You get it off your
I am
chest.
too. I learned
Really
so
let
much
it go.
today.
So all of you animal rights types, my ex is what's Hoffman's Twitter? So we have everybody tweet at him like, "Why are you a raccoon hater?" or something like that. So
What is his Twitter?
we need to find it, and we need to kind of baptize him.
AJ is the real.
Okay.
Like the real REAL? Or the
yeah.
or the real REEL.
AJ is the real REAL.
We're gonna like AJ. Let me tell you, this is gonna be a lot of fun.
It is going to
be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's a good dude. But if you want to call him a raccoon killer, you can go ahead and have him wonder why the heck that's.
Well, I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a good initiation into San Antonio Sports
something to
Star.
let him know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something to let him.
Yeah,
be a part
absolutely.
of it. Although I didn't know he could count cards. I'm glad he told us that before we went someplace.
And play
Started
poker
playing.
with him. Yeah.
So he counts cards, and there's a way to judge or read a slot machine.
Yeah, but he didn't really tell us anything.
Well, fat genies or fat guys.
He just said find an old Asian dude.
Yeah, but I mean, again, though, you're not following the guy, so you've just got to
You got to look him in the eye.
Well, I mean, if the guy's going for the machine, you've got to hockey check him out of the way and get to that machine before that guy.
As he's
Then he said something about the pig being fat.
So
there's a certain machine there.
I knew that was the case. I knew there was a code.
No. We'll see. Good seeing you, Rob.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to be seen.
Yeah, we're live out here at Retama Park. Of course, the Kentucky Derby is tomorrow. Tonight, we got some NBA playoff games. I know last night I needed those last free throws by Maxey for all of my pick-em entries to turn green at Underdog at Fantasy. You want to win some money watching basketball, add some excitement to that game. Make sure you're playing at UnderdogFantasy.com or download the Underdog Fantasy app and play the Pick'em game. It's fantasy, but it's legal in Texas, and you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your Pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from, so you create your own experience, and it's a lot of fun. Adds excitement to watching these games. Sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick-em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
a new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, save $8 on a pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades in-store only. We'll even install them for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts. Until now. Because with Wendy's new breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchise or SPV LLC.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $31.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limits apply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
I love San Antonio, man. I love it.
On 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Ryan Engel. I'm Jay Semenix, live out at Retama Park. Kentucky Derby is tomorrow.
That dude, you see the track at Churchill Downs?
Yeah,
it's a mud pit.
A mudder.
Dude, it is just a mud pit. They're about 30 minutes, the Oaks is about to go off.
You know, in about 15 minutes, we'll talk with Frank Alosa, who is our horse racing expert.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Technically, his title is he is a blood stock agent.
That sounds awful.
It does. It's just a fancy word. He buys horses for rich people.
Yeah.
So he goes and like he's like a scout. Like he'll go to these horse sales and he'll look at horses and he'll judge them and he'll be like, that horse there, you can spend $200,000 on that horse, it's going to win. Or you got $25,000, this is the best horse for that. Like, I don't know what the hell he does.
I mean,
he looks at horses and he buys them. He spends rich people's money.
Well, he's been doing it for a while, so I would assume he's successful, or these rich people wouldn't continue to give him money to buy horses.
Well, that's true, and he is successful. Hell, a horse that he bought a year ago is in the Kentucky Derby tomorrow.
How about that?
It's not going to do well.
That's a long shot.
It's a long shot, and it wasn't. It was one of those alternate horses. So, because he's always said he doesn't want to go to Kentucky Derby until he's got a horse in there. So he's got a horse in there. I'm like, dude, are you going? He was like, well, no, because it's an alternate. They're going to get smoked, and he doesn't like people. And there's 150,000 people there. So, but Alosa does have a horse in the Kentucky Derby. So he is good at what he does, and quite frankly, I won a lot of money listening to Frank's advice when it comes to betting horses. So he will join us coming up at 4:35.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what Frank has to say about the Kentucky Derby tomorrow and who I'm going to pick. Because I've already got a bet here, Minix.
You already have a bet?
Yeah, I got a box.
Well, some guy gave you a slip.
2 + 17.
2 plus 17 is 19, sir.
I know, but that's a box.
Oh, okay.
So those are the.
Oh, that wasn't a
What's
math
in my
equation you were
box?
trying to do?
Well, it's 19, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you went to Texas State. I wasn't sure if you knew.
Well, I probably wouldn't have. I'm glad
Yeah.
you let me know.
Sure.
I didn't go to class much. That was the problem.
Trust me, we know.
Yeah. Class was secondary.
Was it even that high on the list?
Well, no, it wasn't.
So NBA tonight, Dallas and Los Angeles. Can the Mavs just put Kawhi and the Clippers out of their misery?
Well, I hope so. I
mean, they're at home. They should be able to close this thing out, right?
Luka is playing great. I mean, he's playing great. Kyrie's playing good ball. No number 2. The Clippers though almost seem to play better at times without him on the floor, and it's silly. I guess because they're maybe that's it. You kind of get used to not having him on the floor because he's never there. So it's going to be a hard game, obviously, because those always are.
Again, Dallas at home, closeout game. I would expect them to win this game tonight. They are favored by 7.5 tonight.
Wow. Would you lay that?
No. Cleveland and Orlando. At Orlando, Cavs have a chance to close this series out, although Orlando is the home favorite tonight by 3.5.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that? See, and that just leads me to believe that, look, and no disrespect to Orlando, but I really thought Cleveland would smoke them.
Yeah.
And so I just don't know how good Cleveland is. I really don't. I'm just not convinced that they're as good as advertised.
Well, and you look at everything going on in the NBA. You got those 2 games tonight that don't have near the excitement level of what we had last night with the New York-Philadelphia game. Now, Indiana finished off Milwaukee last night. No surprise there. They win that series. New York, and I told you yesterday, I thought New York would end up winning that series and win last night. I thought Philadelphia, just the idea that their ownership group are buying tickets to keep Knicks fans out, as much as I wanted a Game 7 in the Garden, how much fun that would be, I just didn't think Philadelphia had the right, I don't know, like your owners are buying tickets to keep Knicks fans out. And 2,000 clearly wasn't enough because Knicks fans still found their way into that building last night. But what a hell of a basketball game we had.
That was a great game. It really was. Back and forth. Tyrese Maxey just, I guess he left it all in Game 5 because he just didn't have it last night at all. Embiid played well. What I love watching Joel Embiid, when that guy gets you down low, you might as well just let him score. I mean, he's unstoppable. Although, what's the guy's name? Hartenstein played pretty well last night, I thought. But it was a fun game to watch. Knicks get up to a blazing fast start, and Philly comes back, and it was close throughout.
Well, and that was the crazy thing. I mean, you think about the way the Knicks started in that first quarter, but they were down at halftime. The fourth quarter was fantastic.
Yep.
I mean, that was a fun basketball game. That had, a Game 7 feel to it, even though it wasn't. But I think the Knicks played it like a Game 7. They didn't play like they had house money. And, if Embiid were healthy, who knows? If he were 100%, as dominant as he was, if he were healthy and Maxey played like you thought he could, maybe we do get a Game 7. But the Knicks were just the better team in this series. They should have won the last game, and they blew it in the final minute.
Well, that was Maxey.
Yeah.
I mean, he was making shots out of his mind. And he look, I don't know. That Philadelphia team is baffling. I mean, it really is. It's baffling. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to that team in the offseason. And there's a lot of teams like that. I want to see what happens with now that Darvin Ham's been fired. What happens with the Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what happens with them now?
Well, I mean, there's so much. I mean, the idea. I was surprised that Darvin Ham got fired after 2 years. He gets $9 million not to coach LeBron anymore. Of all the coaches that I thought would get fired, Frank Vogel. I never liked that hire in Phoenix. It didn't work this year with their new ownership group. I thought Matt Ishbia would fire Frank Vogel and let's find out something. You've got the talent there. You've got my goodness, the payroll that he took over. And I'm not a big Frank Vogel fan to begin with. I'm surprised, except for LeBron's calling shots clearly, that Darvin Ham got fired after Jeannie Buss said initially that he would be fine.
See, but I look at Frank Vogel, and I don't know. I mean, I'd have to look. I mean, were the play calling bad? I mean, Bradley Beal was supposed to be the icing on the cake.
Sure.
Right? And he was just banged up the whole time. Kevin Durant is still Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker, he did all he could. I just, these dream teams, I just don't think work anymore to some extent. Now, look, Kevin Durant, where's he going to go? Somebody's going to want him. Is he going to stay in Phoenix or does he end up somewhere else? Devin Booker, there's been rumors that he, could be out and be playing somewhere else. So it's going to be an interesting offseason, not only for us here in San Antonio, but for around the NBA for sure. And still waiting on news about NBC and TNT and Amazon and all of that stuff. That decision could be made today.
Well, it's expected to be made today if TNT is going to match or are they going to lose the rights to the NBA, which could spell the end of the best pregame and postgame show with Ernie Johnson saying he's going to stay at TNT regardless. Charles Barkley becomes a free agent. Who knows about Shaq and Kenny, but can they recreate that magic on another network? If Ernie is not a part of it, we will see. And the other big story coming out of the playoffs tonight is about Patrick Beverly. And there's two parts of Pat Bev that are interesting. Late in the game, there's video showing him throwing the ball at the fan. Apparently 1-2 Cancun, and he didn't like it and threw a ball at him. And then he had this BS in the locker room afterwards where an ESPN producer, a longtime ESPN producer, trying to do an interview, and he refused to talk because she doesn't subscribe to his podcast.
Here. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Before I finish. Yeah. You subscribe to my pod?
Do I subscribe to you? I do not.
So you can't interview me then. No disrespect.
Well, Jamal is here.
You subscribe? Okay, cool.
No disrespect.
Again, there were a couple times within a bucket or two. In previous games, y'all have been able to kind of get over that hump, or maybe. Was it anything they did in particular, or was it just one of those where the bucket didn't go down, there wasn't the stop, they made one? What kind of prevented that you all from being able to get over, kind of like you have in the past?
You move that mic, please, or just get out the circle, please, for me, please, ma'am. If you're not subscribed to my pod, I appreciate it. Thank you.
What a jackass.
What kind of crap is that?
Jackassery.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's all it is. I mean, and I know that guy. I know he apologized, right? But still, I mean, why her? Why didn't he ask everybody else if they subscribed to the pod? And if they didn't, he shouldn't have talked to anybody.
Well, and first off, open media, that should – I can't believe the NBA allowed that, because apparently that's not the first time he's done that. But now that – it's postseason and there's a lot more media there, more eyes. I can't believe that's been going on if that, in fact, has happened prior to him refusing to talk to reporters that don't subscribe to his podcast. That was ESPN producer Melinda Adams, who did tweet that Patrick Beverly called. She said, Patrick called me this morning and apologized. I appreciate it and accepted. The Bucks also reached out to apologize. But there's also some reports that Patrick Beverly will be banned from future guest appearances on all ESPN shows.
Good.
Which is good.
I've never heard Himbo on Greeny today was just going off saying that he was he hated working with Pat Beverly because he just wasn't polite to anybody. And I have no reason to doubt Himbo when he says that, but that guy seems like a pretty reasonable guy that I don't know him, but I mean, when he says that, and he was on, Greeny's show on ESPN, and says he hopes he never has to work with that dude ever again.
Well, it doesn't look like, and for a guy that looked like he did have a future at ESPN, he blew it there. He's not.
Well, I hope the NBA does something too. Honestly, I hope they find him. They do something where it hurts.
Well, I mean, one, we know how seriously they take the media. You've got to be available, and you threw the ball at a fan.
Yeah.
You can't do that either.
Well, no, you can't. And, Claymore on our YouTube page has a great point. The rest of the media, and I know yeah, everybody's got a job to do, and you got to get sound bites from everybody. But the rest of the media should have just walked away.
Yeah.
And said, screw you. If she can't be in here, then the hell with you.
You know, I agree with that, but I think sometimes in the moment, you're a little stunned by what's actually happening.
I guess.
And the fact that she did not leave. And I credit her for staying there. Liz, all right, dude, but I'm still putting and again, we only saw that little clip. I don't know how the rest of that played out. Like, did she leave? Did other people leave? But what we've seen is what we've seen, where she was still trying to get that microphone in there. And
well,
he wanted nothing to do with
props to her, and I feel bad for her.
Absolutely. Let's figure out how to win some money on tomorrow's Kentucky Derby.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Frank Alosa, Bloodstock agent.
Wow.
He joins us next year on the Blitz as we're live at Retama Park here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. It's a Friday. You have your weekend plans. None of you plan on getting arrested, I would assume, but some of you will, because it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't want to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. A lot of reasons for that. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
6 a.m. on the Morning Huddle, you'll find out whose voice you're hearing right now. You'll also find out who's advanced in the NBA playoffs. You'll find out if I'm bummed about the Golden Knights.
And oh, by the way, F1 action. Well, we won't talk about it, but it happened. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I got a little drunk the other night. Went to my neighbor's house to see my dog that I gave him.
What? Hold on.
You gave it away?
Yeah.
The dog's going to miss you and think you're coming to pick it up, and then he's going to be sad.
You're turning the dog's life into a Supreme song, man. He's like, set me free, why don't you, baby? You just keep me hanging on.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more OSB sheathing. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Get low prices on the materials you need today, because Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at Lowe's.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
Progressive asks, what do an escaped leopard,
We're live from the zoo where a leopard has escaped.
a growling stomach, an uneaten tuna sandwich, and a backdoor doggy door have in common? They can lead to an unexpected kitchen renovation.
Yeah, hi. Is this the zoo? You leopard is in my kitchen.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hi, everybody. Scott Innes here. For 25 years, I've been voicing lovable cartoon dogs like Scooby-Doo, Astro. Hey, I love puppies and dogs. And now I get to help pets that need a voice to save their lives. That's where the Puppy Food Bank comes in. The Puppy Food Bank helps pet rescue organizations so they can feed puppies. For just $11 a month, you can save a pet's life. Go to puppyfoodbank.org now and donate, and they'll send you a nice gift. Puppy Food Bank is proudly supported by Thomas J. Henry.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. They're at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace. Stop. Opt out.
Guys, let's get real about your hair loss. How long have you been wearing a hat, hiding thinning hair, or a rapidly growing bald spot? Just stop it. You're not a 12-year-old little leaguer, you're a grown man. It's time to take action. Let the hat go and get your real hair back permanently with Bosley. You heard that right. Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, can give you your real hair back permanently. And right now, Bosley is giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone that texts SHOW to 200-300. Plus, text right now and get a link to this month's incredible deals. Join the millions of people who come to Bosley and see just how awesome your hair could look. Text SHOW to 200-300 for your absolutely free information kit and a free $250 gift card off, plus a special link to incredible deals. Text SHOW to 200-300 now. Text SHOW to 200-300.
Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You guys are idiots.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Live out at Retama Park. Of course, the Kentucky Derby is tomorrow, and this is the place you want to be tomorrow for the Derby. Starting at 8:30 in the morning, gates will open. Hat contest, mint juleps, and of course, you want to win some money on the race, the Kentucky Derby.
Of course.
We call in our expert, bloodstock agent, Frank Alosa, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Every time I say bloodstock agent, I feel like I have to explain what that is. It's like you're in the FBI, the CSI, NCIS. You're what the hell is a bloodstock agent?
Wait, first off, you guys didn't bring me on to talk about who the Spurs are going to draft this year. Was I led?
Well, we're going to get to that.
Direction?
Yeah, we'll
okay.
We'll get to that. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
A bloodstock agent, Jason, is a fancy term for someone who buys and manages and sells racehorses for other people. Think of like a realtor, but for horses.
So I'm thinking, Frank, you must be pretty good at that, because if rich people are going to give you money to buy horses, you got to kind of be successful most of the time.
I'm not going to toot my own horn per se, but I have been very fortunate to have purchased some fast horses. Yes, I would say I've been very fortunate.
Yeah, it's not like you to not toot your own horn. Let's be real.
Well, I did like the fact that my "you guys are idiots" drop still exists in the system after all these years.
You guys are idiots.
I don't have to say that out loud.
Well, I mean, some things never change. All right.
That's
Now,
right.
First off, congratulations, my friend. You actually have a horse that you purchased as a bloodstock agent that has made the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, he's horse number 21 in your program, number 1 in your heart, and number 1 in your rooting interest. His name is Epic Ride. I bought him as a yearling, which is a fancy term for 1-year-old. I bought him in Kentucky as a 1-year-old, and now he's still not even technically 3. So approaching his 3rd birthday, he is Horse number 21 in your program, Epic Ride, for some good owners and a really good trainer that I've been fortunate to work with. And yeah, so pretty exciting. This is my first horse to actually make the gate at Kentucky Derby.
Now, Frank, Epic Ride right now, as I look at it, is 53-1. I mean, there have been horses that have won at 53-1.
Have there?
But maybe somewhere down the line. What kind of chance do you give Epic Ride?
I actually give him a good chance. He's only had 5 starts in his career. He's never been worse than third. He just ran third in a grade 1, which is the highest level of racing leading up to the Derby. And that was his first try on a dirt track. So the Derby's run on dirt. He's been running on a synthetic surface. And that was the first time he ran on dirt. And he actually improved in that race, running third to Sierra Leone, who's one of the favorites, and Just a Touch, who was second in that race at Keeneland in the Bluegrass Stakes. So we're coming in with a horse that's improving. He's young. He does not have a lot of racing experience, so there's not a lot of tread on the tires per se. So if he can break out of the gate, and get good position going down that front stretch run by the 150,000 people and save some ground in the turn, I don't anticipate he'll be on the lead, but he'll be close. And I think in the Derby, you have to be close to give yourself a shot. So I think we have a shot. Some people might think I'm crazy, but I think we have an improving horse going in the right direction at the right time for the biggest race of the year.
Bloodstock agent Frank Alosa joining us here on the Blitz. Now, you talk about a horse that's used to running on synthetic. This is a dirt track that's going to be muddy. It's raining there right now. The track conditions are going to be interesting, say about 24 hours from right now when the Kentucky Derby goes off. How will that impact the race, not just with your horse, Epic Ride, but with all the horses in this field?
So obviously the track is muddy right now, as you said, Jason, but the rain is supposed to continue through parts of overnight. By the time the race goes tomorrow, that'll be about 5:55 Central Time. I expect the track to actually be in fairly good condition. I don't think it'll be labeled fast, and if it is labeled fast, then that's probably a lie, because there still will be a ton of rain in the ground. I think it actually helps him, and here's why. The synthetic surfaces by nature are tighter surfaces, meaning they're not loose dirt. If the ground has some moisture in it, that creates a similar feel underneath the horse's feet. So I'm actually rooting for it to be a little wet, because that's more the surface he's been used to running on. That's more the tighter surface he's run on in his 4 first starts of his life.
Frank, that's it. So why are some horses better on muddy tracks per se, or tracks like that than say others? And having said that, how do you know?
Some of it's family. Some of it's just the pedigree of the horses. There are some mud families. You can crack the joke. His mudder was a mudder. But some of its pedigrees and some of its foot constitution as well, like the shape of the foot and how it sort of hits the ground. Knockwood, he has really good feet and he has really good angles to his feet. So I think any surface is fine for him. Like, he does not have a flat foot, which can be a little cuppy on the ground. And we're getting really scientific here on the shape of a horse's foot. But some of it is pedigree, some of it is constitution of the foot. But you never really know. Like, people will look at a horse and be like, oh, this horse won't do well on the mud. And then all of a sudden a wet surface comes around and the horse skips over the top of it. Think back to Justify, in his Triple Crown run. I mean, he skipped over the top of the mud. So you just never know until you've run them over it. And, Epic Ride has never run over it, but he's run on tighter surfaces, which is what happens when it gets muddy. They seal the track, meaning they push the ground to sort of squeegee out the water to get the water to the top, and that tightens up the surface. So, as I said, I'm fine with rain. If it wants to rain, I'm in.
All right, here we go. Frank Alosa, bloodstock agent. You do have a horse in the race, Epic Ride. So objectively looking at, let's take that horse out, the 21 horse out. What are the other horses in this race that you really like? Where is Frank Alosa's money actually going?
Okay, so if Epic Ride was not in the race, I would bet Just a Touch. Just a Touch is another lightly raced 3-year-old. I think he has 3 starts in his career. You know, he broke he won his first race pretty impressively, and since then he's been running against very tough competition in stakes races leading up to this spot. He has a high cruising speed. He'll be toward the front. Another one I don't think needs to be on the lead, but in the Derby, you have to put yourself in position to at least make the first run. Not every year does the pace collapse and everybody backs up and a horse swoops the field from, 15th, 16th position. So if the pace is fast and you're close, you're going to make the first run. It's all about stamina after that and how fast you go up front. I think this horse has the cruising speed and the stamina on the bottom side of this horse that will allow it to make a huge run turning for home. That would be my pick if Epic Ride's not in the race. I would bet Just a Touch.
Frank, I'm curious, when you look at the field, Fierceness is the favorite. And then you've got, Sierra Leone is I guess the second. What is it about those horses that make them the favorite? Is it past races or what is it?
Yeah, it's past races and how fast they did it. In Fierceness's case, he has 2 of the fastest races of a career for any horse in the field. The problem with Fierceness is you don't know which horse is going to show up. The really good Fierceness that's faster than everybody else and could probably win this race by 5 lengths, or the average Fierceness that finishes 6th and doesn't really run to his standard. That's sort of been the horse's problem throughout his career. Now, in 2 Grade 1 high-level competitions, he's shown up, but in other races, he hasn't. So if the good Fierceness shows up, everybody, including Just a Touch, Epic Ride, and everybody else in the field could be running for second. But I'm banking on, just on the form cycle, that after that horse's last race in Florida, Fierceness we're talking about, I think that horse is going to come back to the field a little bit. That's why I like Just a Touch, because he has maintained the performance every time. Fierceness likes to be close. His best running is when he's loose on the lead and he kind of gets brave. Sierra Leone is the exact opposite. Sierra Leone could be last going into the first turn. And we have seen horses put on epic performances in the Derby running from last to first. Think of Mind That Bird, Rich Strike, Street Sense. Other winners of the Derby in the past have made that run. But it can be so difficult in the Derby to pass 19 horses, to sustain that run from last. Can Sierra Leone do it? Yes. But I would use him underneath, saying he's too late getting there. I think he hits the board, but I don't think he gets there tomorrow.
Frank Alosa joining us here on the Blitz, our horse racing expert. He is a bloodstock agent. Now we're out here at Retama Park, and as soon as we get in, everybody that's out here, and we're up on the clubhouse level, Retama very well. So the people that are up here, they're all experts. Yeah, I mean, there are guys here. There's computers. There's paper all over the table. Everybody's talking about who do you like? And all right, the 2 names that I've heard the most, besides the ones we've talked about, are Forever Young and Mystic Dan. Tell me about those 2 horses.
Mystic Dan is a lot like Sierra Leone. He's very pace dependent. He needs it to go fast up front, and he probably would be doing the rain dance tonight if he can. His best performance has been over a very muddy ground, and he rode the rail in Arkansas at Oaklawn Park to a very impressive win, but that's his best performance. Forever Young is a Japanese horse. Now, the Japanese have been coming to the Derby for a few years now without much success. I think the best they finished is 5th or 6th. This is their best hope. This horse has been ultra impressive. He has not done all of his running in Japan. He went to Dubai and won impressively. He was in Saudi Arabia. this is the type of horse that has taken his races with him outside of Japan, which has always been the criticism of the Japanese horses when they come to America. Forever Young can hit the board. I don't know if he's a win candidate, but I would use him in your exacta and trifectas. He's a legit horse. He's a very, very good horse.
Frank, when you look at the horses, we've talked a lot about them, and then you look at the jockeys. How much difference do the jockeys make? And I mean that sincerely, a big part of what the horse does?
I would say I would put the jockeys very, very low. It's all about trip, right? But you have to have the horse to be able to get a good trip. If you don't have the horse with a high cruising speed or an ability to save as much ground as possible, then it doesn't really matter, because you can have the best jockey in the world. If you lose ground or you're just too slow, like, you're not going to win the race. So jockeys matter is very, very low on the list for me. Now, having experience or having a jockey who's very cool under pressure matters, but most of the jockeys in here are world-class riders. So they're all sort of cool under pressure. They've all ridden in very big races, you know? So I don't really put a ton of focus on who's riding what horse.
Interesting. Frank Alosa, our horse racing expert here on the Blitz. All right, Frank, I'm going to ask you basically a two-part question. Give us your box tomorrow. What are you going to do? Give us one that includes your horse and then one that does not include your horse.
Well, I only have one, and it includes my horse. So I would bet just a touch to win. I think you're going to get very good odds. To win might get you back 18 profit. So I think that is a smart play. Underneath, I would use Sierra Leone. I would use Mystic Dan. I would use Forever Young. I would use Epic Ride. And I would use Track Phantom. Track Phantom is a horse that's adding blinkers, which usually helps improve the horse's focus in a race. I think that's sort of been that horse's downfall, is just kind of losing focus in races. The blinkers should help that horse, and it's trained by Texas trainer Steve Asmussen.
Okay.
Well,
Track Phantom is 52-1.
Yeah, I think that's great. If you're playing horses underneath an exacta and tries, you want a big number. You have an opportunity. The Derby's about making money. The Derby is about,
absolutely.
This is your one chance for some of these horses to ever be 20, 30, 40, 50 to 1. Now's the time to do it. If you've got that opportunity, do it.
All right.
You know, Frank, just real quick, and I don't, not to give me a lesson on betting
when you go
horses.
up to the window, how do you say that?
Yeah, so if a trifecta is, they have to be in the right order, right? I have to be horse, this horse, that 1, 2, 3. A box, they can be 1 and 2, right? Can you explain the difference?
If you go up and you call out a 2, 3, 4 trifecta in that order, it's got to finish 2, 3, 4. If you go up and you call out a trifecta box, that means, and you call out 2, 3, 4, that means it can come in 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 4, 3, 2, any of the combinations that come with it. You pay more for that, but protecting yourself. You really like 3 horses in the race. I always tell people, box them. It costs you more money, but the Derby is a place where the payouts are usually massive because there's so much money in the pools that you have an opportunity to really make a score just by boxing them.
Nice.
So box it.
I'll box it.
Box it. So
thanks, Frank.
Just a touch to win.
My mom always gets on my dad because he'll go up there and he'll play straight exactas and straight tries without boxing them. And the horses will run 1, 2, 3, but not in the order he had it. He'll be like, she'll just say, you should have boxed them.
He's been hearing that for 50 years. It ain't going to change.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to change now.
Yeah, that's it. Just a touch to win. Sierra Leone, Mystic Dan, Forever Young, Epic Ride, and Track Phantom, says Bloodstock agent Frank Alosa. Frank, good stuff,
Always,
man. Appreciate you. Always, man. Frank Alosa, our horse racing expert on the Buyers Barricade guest line rental and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Hope you were taking notes. Just a touch.
Yes.
Is Frank's
Just a
pick
touch.
to
I like that.
win.
13-1.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and Frank's about making money.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And box it, according to Frank. Now, he's got just a touch to win. If you want to win tickets to see Interpol coming up at the Boeing Center at Techport on May 6th, you just need to be caller number 9 right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 9, you win a pair of tickets to see Interpol at the Boeing Center, May 6th. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them live at nation.com. Let's talk some NBA playoffs as we continue here on the Blitz, live at Retama Park on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The Big Blind is celebrating their official grand opening May 8th through the 12th with an epic weekend, starting with a 12K tournament on Wednesday the 8th, 10K tournaments Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with $500 high hands every half hour, and a 5K Texas free roll on Sunday. Plus, daily blackjack tournaments. Plan now to celebrate the Big Blind grand opening next week. The Big Blind, down from the roof of at 281 in Redland Road. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Come to Generations Federal Credit Union for a great competitive rate on a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, pay off credit cards, renovate your home, and more. With flexible terms, fixed rates, and minimal closing costs. All with easy applications and fast local decisions. Apply today at Generations Federal Credit Union. Rates and terms subject to approval and may change without notice. Full terms and conditions at mygenfcu.org/homeequity. Equal housing lender.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save from your... give you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Former Cowboys great Michael Irvin out at the NFL Network after it appears the network is doing away with total access. Irvin is the latest in a long list of cuts at the NFL Network. Odell Beckham Jr. has a new home today. He's signing a one-year deal with the Miami Dolphins. Could be worth up to $8.25 million. And the Lakers are coachless. They fired Darvin Ham after just 2 seasons in L.A.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a Friday out at Retama Park.
Pretty good place to be.
It's a great spot to be.
Dude, I'm gonna have to go to the window though. I try to make a bet on these machines, and I can't figure them out.
Yeah, right. You're getting tips now.
No. This guy just bet.
He bet the race you wanted to bet.
No, that's for the Derby.
Oh, that's
tomorrow.
for the Derby tomorrow.
Yeah. And which horse? Sierra Leone.
He took Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. All right, good luck.
So he listened to Frank Alosa, our bloodstock agent,
yes,
and
he
he went the other way.
Well, no, he said he liked everything that Frank had to say. He was listening to it intently, by the way. But he's got a hunch.
Yeah.
You got to go with a hunch.
Well, that's it. And do you when you're betting the Kentucky Derby, especially if you aren't one that would say is a horse racing aficionado, do you make a handful of bets with a variety of combinations just to kind of cover yourself?
No.
You make one bet and stick with it.
Well, look, if you're going to watch the race, and I know all the box and the exactness and all of that stuff, but, I mean, I have a hard enough time figuring out where my horse is. It's like, okay, there's number 4 running right there. I don't want to have to worry about 2 others. Where the hell are they? I guess you can just wait till it's over and see if you won or not.
Well, I mean, eventually, like with Alosa, right? He's got a horse in the race. So this year, is he? I talked to him about this. Like, dude, want you to be objective because your horse is a long shot. You might think it's got a chance, but it's your horse. I think that,
right.
Like when Lee plays Judson at the beginning of the game, those kids think they got a chance, sort of.
Right. Well,
but, well, maybe.
Depends on who their coach is.
Well, true. But I mean, when you look at it, can you be objective? So I would imagine, like I asked Frank, give me 2, one with your horse, one without.
Yeah.
If your horse wasn't in it, what would you say? Although everything he said about his horse is probably accurate. And how often do you see that kind of long shot horse? How often do the favorites actually win the Kentucky Derby?
It seems like, and I don't know. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it just seems like over the last several years, the favorite hasn't won. I mean, I could be dead wrong on that, and I'm sure I'll get corrected on Facebook or Twitter or call me and let me know. But I mean,
because we're
but
honest.
you can't make any money that way.
No, well, and that's it. I mean, I'm going to put in some bets on what I'm hoping will happen.
Sure,
because you're going to make more money,
right?
But I might have a couple going. It's almost like putting in multiple brackets in the NCAA tournament, which I am very against. But in this case, you put in some things to try to, all right, this is what I like because this would make me a lot of money, but this one will probably cover all the rest of them. So basically you don't lose any money and you still make a little bit, but you could make a lot with a slip that's got some long shots in there.
I kind of like this guy that's here to my left who just bet on Sierra Leone. He's got all his money on that one horse. Win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. He's got to win. If that horse wins, he's going to make a lot of money.
He is going to make a lot of money.
So he's got a hunch.
Uh-huh.
And so I admire that, and I respect that.
Well, but, his wife over there has made 17 other bets to cover his loss.
Well, maybe so, although she told me she doesn't. She's just here for the food and drink.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think she's the brains behind the operation?
I do.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that's exactly what is going on over there. Now, it's interesting when you think about what's going on at the Kentucky Derby. And, like the sports world is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kay Adams on her show, Up and Adams. She's there. And you've got a lot of celebrities that are at the event, obviously. And one of those celebrities is Warren Moon.
Oh, wow.
Warren Moon. You know who Warren Moon is.
I've heard of that guy.
You've heard of Warren Moon.
I've heard of him.
Now, here lately, there's been so much talk about the Oilers uniform look.
Yeah.
We were talking about it yesterday with John McClain because the University of Houston said, you know what, screw you, NFL, we're going to go with this look anyway.
Yes.
And there's just this huge debate. Guys like James Pledger that will say, well, when I see those uniforms, I think about the city of Houston. And I think we all call BS on that to a degree because you think Houston Oilers.
Of course
which
you do.
is Houston in a roundabout way.
It's not Houston.
But it is Houston. It's the Houston Oilers, right? But I don't think city of Houston. I don't think, oh man, Kirby Lane. I think Houston Oilers. I think Earl Campbell. I think Warren Moon.
Right. Billy White Shoes Johnson.
Well, Kay Adams asked Warren Moon, the great Warren Moon, who, by the way, introduced the Tennessee Titans second round draft pick this year in Detroit during the NFL draft. Kay Adams asked the great Warren Moon about the uniform debate going on between the Houston Oilers, Tennessee Titans, and the city of Houston and Texans fans.
I think they have a right to be upset, but the Tennessee Titans own that uniform. They own the history of the Houston Oilers, so they had a chance to own it themselves, and they didn't want that ownership. They wanted to create their own identity, which makes sense. They're the Houston Texans coming in. Let's create our own identity. But now, because the Houston Oilers uniforms became so popular coming up, they wanted it back. You can't have it both ways.
Now the truth comes out, huh? How about that? So they had the opportunity to keep those uniforms, and they said, birds up. Now the truth comes out. So all you whiny Texan fans about the Houston Oiler uniform, go jump in a lake, all right?
Did they?
You're aware he's still on the Titans
Moon
payroll.
says that they did, yes.
Yes, he is on the Titans payroll. You've got to keep that in mind. Did the city of Houston have the opportunity at any point to keep that history? I don't think they did. And if they did, that's news to me that Warren Moon just was breaking.
Well, why would Warren Moon? So you say he's on the Tennessee Titans payroll. Why would he say that? I mean, it's obviously we can find out if that's true or not. Why would he lie about it?
Well, I mean, when have you ever heard that before?
I've never heard that before.
That the city of Houston had a chance?
No.
When Bob McNair won the rights to put an NFL franchise in Houston, did the Adams family offer to sell him the Oilers? And they said no. I mean, was that ever a thing? Because I have not heard that before.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, though, what he said. Look, they wanted to get – I mean, it was a bad divorce.
It was.
Okay, it was a horrible divorce. So when they got the Texans, they wanted to have their own deal, their own identity. It makes perfect sense.
Well, and they could have – but the history and the look – and remember, the Oilers, they were the Tennessee Oilers for the first 2 years that they were in there before they became the Titans and changed the name. But when you look at, like, some teams have moved and the history has stayed within that city, I don't know. I mean, because still, I mean, when the Titans wear the Oiler throwbacks, it makes you think of the Houston Oilers, not the Tennessee Titans. It's just kind of interesting.
Well, but it's a throwback. It's just like any other throwback uniform that teams wear, of course.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I just don't, I mean, if he's not telling the truth, I mean, people are going to call him out on it.
Well, and I don't want to say that he's lying. I wouldn't say that in a sense of, but I don't know that Houston had a chance to keep the name, whether it was with the city or if the McNairs had a chance. And if the McNairs, maybe the price was ridiculous, but I think we would have heard something like that.
Well, I think the guy that would know the answer to that is the general, John McClain.
Who's never said anything like that.
He has never said
Bud
that.
Adams took everything with his Oilers. They packed it up and they moved to Tennessee.
That was a very nasty divorce.
It
really
was.
Yes.
And so, part of that. But, and again, I don't know that it's the Texans have created their own identity. But a lot of Houston Oiler fans did not transfer over to become Titans fans like you did. They're loyal to the city of Houston. And they're going to root for the team that's in Houston. That's why they became Texans fans, but they were still Oiler fans. And they can't, when you're honoring the Oilers with the throwback, Texans fans can't honor the Titans because that's not their team. That's not their city. It's so different.
Hey, Tennessee owns they own the Oilers.
They do.
And that's the way it is. I'm curious now, though. I am going to do some research. I want to know if what Warren, I just can't imagine he would say that on a national podcast or program of the Kay Adams had. I mean, knowing damn good and well, if you say something, people are going to check you out and know if that's true or not. And if he's not being honest, then I would imagine he's going to get called out on it.
Pledge, do me a favor. Call or text John McClain and just ask him, hey, Warren said Houston had a chance to keep the name. And see what he says. I've never heard that before. I don't know that. I find that very interesting. But Warren Moon is telling basically Houston fans, get over yourself. You've got your own team now.
Yeah, you wanted your own identity.
Yeah.
So, deal with it.
Yeah. Let's talk some Cowboys with John Mota. He will join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Dallas Mavericks have a chance to close out the Clippers tonight. You want to watch that game and add a little excitement to it? Make sure you're playing at the Pick'em game at UnderdogFantasy.com. And when you look at the Pick'em game, you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your Pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. And if your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. As I'm looking at it right now, they've got Luka at 29.5 points, higher or lower. That one looks good. Paul George, 24.5 points, higher or lower. James Harden at 19.5 points. It's fantasy, legal in Texas. Put your fantasy skill to the test and make some money. Underdog is super easy to play and easy to get started if you haven't done so. Go to the mobile app or website, UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up, use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, you'll get a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up using my promo code STAR.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
When it's time for a brake job, go with a solution that delivers one of the smoothest and most quiet rides on the road. Napa Silent Guard brakes. Made with fiber-reinforced shims that eliminate noise for the life of the pad. Rubber-coated hardware for a better fit on 99.5% of vehicles. And quality design that meets and exceeds OE performance. Napa Silent Guard brakes deliver the stopping power and performance drivers demand in their vehicles. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Semenix, live out at Retama Park. Of course, the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. This is the place to be, the only place in San Antonio you can bet on the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. And they've got a lot going on starting at 8:30 in the morning and throughout the day. So head out to Retama Park. You know, the Cowboys, it's been another interesting week. Let's talk about it with John Mota from The Athletic, who joins us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. John, we had Will McClay on with us Wednesday talking about the idea of not drafting a running back but bringing Zeke back. In your mind, do you think the running backs that are on the roster right now are going to be the running backs that start the season, or are they still going to go find what could be and should be RB1?
I think there's a decent chance that the ones that are on the roster right now could be the ones that open the season, but I'm not convinced that they'll be the leading rusher is necessarily on the roster right now. I think that we could see some stuff like 2018 where, you know, they went into that year with, you know, I think week one, the starting receivers were Cole Beasley, Alan Hearns, Deontay Thompson. Now they also had Terrence Williams and a rookie, Michael Gallup, but they were trying to go more of a committee at wide receiver, and they realized, you know, this probably isn't going to work. And then they did the trade for Amari Cooper. So fortunately at running back, you probably don't have to give up a one to get a good running back like they had to do for Amari. So they'll probably be able to find something if this group doesn't work out. And the other part I would point to as well would be when these other teams cut down to 53, you know, in you know, late August, early September there, I could see there being a decent back out there. I mean, really early September is when the Bucs in 2020 signed Leonard Fournette, and he ended up being a huge piece of what they did offensively. He was their best runner for sure in that team that won the Super Bowl. So I will say that they've devalued running back apparently lower than any other team in the league. But it is one spot where I think you could probably get somebody decent if you're willing to give up maybe a draft pick as we get closer to the season.
John, doesn't it make or kind of fall into line with what Jerry has said and Steven have said with, hey, we've had these young guys on our roster. It's time for them to step up. Could you not say the same thing, that maybe they're looking at Rico Dowdle the same way?
Oh, sure. And maybe Rico Dowdle or Malik Davis or Royce Freeman, you know, step up in Oxnard. But you also got to kind of look at it from, you know, not to get too far off topic here, but I'll give you an example, just something I think of when you know, Jerry talks about needing these, you know, first year, second year, third year jump guys. My big question about all of that is, how much upside have you seen from any of those guys? When you talk about, when I think of it, I think of the, you know, Jalen Tolbert, Sam Williams, I think of Luke Schoonmaker, Mozzie Smith, guys like that. Like, there's not been a ton of upside there. So you're going to need a pretty significant jump. And I do think a couple guys can make that, but I think that there's about 8 to 10 guys that they really need. If they're going to have, you know, some serious success come January, they're going to need 8 to 10 guys that we're really not used to seeing much from, have some pretty big seasons. Oh, and also stay relatively healthy. I just think they're kind of asking for a lot across the board there.
Yeah, they certainly are. John Mota from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz. You think about Zeke, and I'll go with Rob Thompson from our morning show. Says Zeke might be RB1, but he won't be the leading rusher. I agree with that. I think his biggest value in coming back, besides being on a vet minimum deal, is his blocking ability that could help out a young offensive lineman. How much did that play into him coming back to the Cowboys?
Oh, that for sure. But I think a lot of it also has to do with just the fact that it's not a very substantial contract. He obviously has a great relationship with Dak. He obviously has a great relationship with Jerry. And so it fit better than, let's say, maybe a Dalvin Cook or another free agent running back or another veteran running back. And so I think you just can't point to one thing. I also think behind the scenes, they like what Zeke brings in terms of, he can kind of be a spark in the locker room, and he can also be a guy that kind of leads the way in the locker room. And so, particularly in that running back room. And so I think a lot of those things factored in, but my thing is I think he can contribute in a lot of those ways. And I think he can contribute as, in part of a rotation of 2 or 3 backs. As I look at this crew right now on paper, I don't know how you go into Oxnard on the very first day in full pads and he's not RB1. And that might mean that doesn't mean that he is going to be their leading rusher. But as I just look at this group, I don't see a breakout candidate. I don't really see, a Kyron Williams or an Isaiah Pacheco that have stepped up for some other teams that maybe when they drafted him, whether we're talking about the Rams or the Chiefs, you might not have expected that either. But there was a little bit of upside there. I don't know how much upside. I just don't see Rico Dowdle all of a sudden being a 1,200-yard back. If he is, man, they're going to be thrilled. I don't see really. Zeke's got a pretty good track record now. The stats speak for themselves. I don't think he's going to be a 1,000-yard back. I don't think Royce Freeman is. And so it's going to be interesting to see how, if this is the crew all season, how they get it done running the ball. Because let's not act like this is like the offensive line of about 6-7 years ago, where you're like, well, you probably put any back there, and if he's a lead dog, he'll probably get 1,000 yards. Like I don't see that. Plus, you're going to have some young guys on the offensive line, and so big question marks in an area that really has to be good if they're going to take another step.
John, I'm curious as to what you think about this, because when Jerry talks about that Dak Prescott is not going to have as much around him talent-wise as he's had in the past, and basically they expect more from him. Is that a message to Dak Prescott from Jerry Jones in some sort of way?
Yeah, especially because the next contract isn't done. If that's done, you're just kind of like, Jerry's saying that because he just gave Dak $50-some million a year, But with that contract not being done, and everybody kind of knows the parameters of what that quarterback number is for a franchise starting quarterback like Dak, I think it is a little bit of, we need you to take your game to another level and pick it up for some other guys. And you know what? He's probably also saying that from a perspective of, I'm comfortable giving you $50-55 million a year, but if I do that, it's going to probably hurt us in some other areas. So I need to see more that, maybe you can do a little bit more with less type thing. Obviously the best player in the league is Patrick Mahomes. And there's been some years, even including this past year when they won the Super Bowl, that, without Tyreek Hill, that receiver crew ain't great. It really is nothing that anybody's very envious of across the league, but they find ways to get it done. And obviously, he's the best player in the league, so, and he might go down as the greatest player ever. So it's hard to compare to him, but I think that's what Jerry's talking about, is like, all right, if we're going to give that even more than we're giving right now, we're going to need to see even more of Dak putting it on his back. And Dak might be poised to do that. He's coming off of being, he had a really good regular season and not very good playoffs, but I could see Dak having a good year with this crew. But again, for me, I could see this team winning 10 games. It's what happens in January.
Yeah, well, it's always what happens in January. John, what I find interesting, and I find it such a bad analogy, I'm hoping you can make sense of it. We heard Jerry use the credit card analogy on why he hasn't got the deals done with, say, CD, Dak, and obviously Micah. Will McClay used the same analogy with us. It still makes no sense to me. Can you explain the credit card analogy on why they don't have those deals done?
Oh, I think a lot of it has to do with that in the credit card type thing. I think they're speaking on people that put put things on their credit card and they're not paying it off at the end of the month. They're paying it off. They're just paying the bare minimum. And then, eventually you're going to get to a point where you can be drowning if you don't pay off, your debt. And I think it's because of, for a long time, I mean, even go back to Romo, the Cowboys have operated where they're all about restructuring deals with their stars. So while it gives them less money on that particular season salary cap, it pushes it down the line. That's how Zeke is $6 million against the cap this year without even counting what he's getting on the signing the new deal. So if Zeke played for the Minnesota Vikings this year, he still was counting 6 in dead cap off of his previous contract. And so they've navigated in that way so that they can put, the best team they feel possible out on the field for every given year. The problem is, though, is that down the road, you end up paying on it. And in a way, that factored into where people bring up, well, they had Dak under a rookie contract and they didn't spend big on other positions to try and max out him on a 4th round pick deal. Well, they still had dead cap money on Romo's contract. So because they always restructured his. And so I think that's what he's talking about when they say it, Jerry, on the credit card, is that, they can't be doing any more overspending. And I think it's also that they're factoring in what happens if we do 3 contracts, these big time 3 guys done. I assume they will. But I think that's the other part of it, is factoring like, well, we're going to have to be paying ahead and there's going to be more credit card debt going forward if we get this $55 million deal done with Dak and another 35 plus for Micah and then possibly 34, 35 for CD. That I think that's what he means, but I mean, I don't know. It's Jerry sometimes tough to understand on this stuff.
Yeah, extremely tough to understand. Let me ask you, John, what you think about this. Obviously, the Cowboys didn't pick up that 5th-year option for Trey Lance. We all, no surprise there. But is he going to be given a legit shot to compete with Cooper Rush for that backup spot?
Oh, yeah, and the fact that they used the 4th round pick on him, it's crazy to say because of how well Cooper's played when they've called on him. But I almost think that if it's close, they're going to give Lance the benefit of the doubt because they need him on the roster because they invested a 4th round pick and they need to see what they have in him. And so I almost feel like as long as he doesn't completely bomb in training camp in the preseason, I feel like he's the favorite to be the backup. Whereas if they're going to keep Rush too, then it would be a scenario where they keep 3 on the roster, 3 quarterbacks in their 53. So, no, I do think Trey Lance is going to get every opportunity to win that backup job. They would love for that to happen. And I think he's going to get by far the most snaps in those preseason games just because they're not going to play Dak in the preseason. And they know what they have in Cooper Rush. So there's no really need to see him. So, no, I absolutely think that they're going to give Trey Lance every opportunity, whether it's training camp or preseason, to see everything that they possibly can get out of him.
And again, maybe whether it's with the Cowboys or does he impress enough to where he might be worthy of another 4th round pick in return, or maybe something a little bit more if a team gets desperate. Now, John, we haven't talked to you since the draft last week. On the Athletic website, you and your colleagues graded the draft, and I thought you guys were generous teachers, especially overall because they didn't take a running back. And I know, like you graded them with an overall B, because they did address some needs in the future. But, man, I thought not taking a running back when there were some there was just a big miss for the Dallas Cowboys, although part of me wants to give them credit, if you believe them, where they said they wanted to stay true to their board and take best player and not jump at a need. I don't know. I just thought that, man, they missed on a opportunity to get a solid back.
Yeah, I mean, just to be honest, I don't even really like doing the draft grade thing. We just do it every year, so I do it. But it's one of those things where I think I completely agree with you on running back, and I would throw defensive tackle into that same category where, it's not addressed until the 7th round, and we knew going in the draft those are 2 positions that, I mean, you had serious needs there. And so for me, I think the B is more on the lines of I just really give them an extremely high grade on being able to pull off turning pick 24 into basically Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe on that trade, and to be able to fill 2 major holes there. I think that's why I probably did it more than anything. But yeah, they deserve. I mean, you can be critical. My thing on the running back is this: I don't even look at it as just this year's draft. Everybody knew last year that Pollard was getting the franchise tag, and they were going to be in this situation. So they really needed to draft a running back last year in the third, fourth, fifth round, And so I don't look at it as just so, there's some arguments to be made that, well, they would have done it in the fourth if they didn't give up that Trey Lance pick. I think if they have the fourth round pick, they find something else on the board that interests them more than running back, because they've clearly showed you, not in one, but in two drafts now of an array of different backs, that they're really just not that interested in spending on the running back position. And hey, maybe that comes back to bite them, or maybe they look like geniuses in the end because they didn't spend any money on that, and they find somebody, they find a Kyron Williams or an Isaiah Pacheco. Maybe that happens. But the idea that, well, it just didn't fall their way. No, I mean, you can talk yourself out of everything in life, I mean, if you really don't like something, it don't matter where it comes up. You can always talk yourself out of something. And I just believe that's where they're at running back. We saw it. This is nothing new. We've seen it from this team at defensive tackle. And you go back to right before they went and got Jaron Kearse and Malik Hooker. It was very much like that at safety. It wasn't like it was like just a Cowboys or an NFC. The Cowboys valued safety less than anybody in the league for a long period of time. And I just feel like that's where they're at running back right now.
I find it interesting. Not only that, but we're going to have two rookies on that offensive line, aren't we? Day one.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, there's going to be growing pains, but I think it's a smart way of doing business, because I think you throw those guys to the Wolves and you have to start rebuilding that offensive line. And I think even if they got a 1-year deal done with Tyron Smith, I still think they would have drafted, not only do I think they still would have drafted Guyton, I thought that would still have been the right pick, because they need to find that left tackle of the future. And why not do it right now when you've had so much success finding those offensive linemen in the first round? If you love Guyton, you thought about taking him at 24, hey, take the good with the bad. There might be some struggles early on, but I think ultimately putting him together with Tyler Smith on that left side, your quarterback's blind side, I think it's a smart move, and it's something that just had to be done. Would you have liked to had kind of a bridge in between, maybe, so that Tyler Guyton could maybe kind of slowly ease his way in? Sure. But I thought for where they were drafting at, not having a top 10 pick, I think that they did about as good as they could at those positions. And hey, that's just the way it's a young man's game now in the NFL. And so, you got to throw some guys to the Wolves, and that's what they're going to have to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I was happy with that. Give me an offensive lineman that could be a 10-year starter. Potentially.
Got two of those.
And they got two of them. So
yeah.
I was very happy with that. Although as we're sitting here at Retama Park and you look at the tables here aren't very tall, but I think I see Deuce Vaughn jumping up and down over a table. It's hard to see him over there, but John, Deuce Vaughn wants to remind you he is a running back that was drafted last year.
Oh, sure. I mean, he was, yeah, 6th round, and I could see them potentially using him in some other ways. And hey, maybe Kevontae Turpin gets in on the running game too. I don't think that that's the investment that you would have thought of when you go from a team that obviously invested a high first-round pick in Zeke, but then still invested a 4th in Tony Pollard, knowing that, you're going to need more than one guy because that's where this position's going. So I think that even taking a Deuce Vaughn in the 6th round, I still think that you needed to do more at that position in the draft, and they just, I think that they feel like they can find somebody along the way.
Good stuff. I was just joking because I'm with you. With the new kickoff rules, he might have a role there. We'll see. John, enjoy your weekend, my friend.
Will do. You guys do the same.
Appreciate it. John Machota from The Athletic. Make sure you subscribe to The Athletic and follow John on Twitter at John Machota, as we're live out here at Retama Park getting ready for the Kentucky Derby, which is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
I'm itching to make a bet.
You're trying to figure out where you're gonna put that money.
No, I've got it. I've got it right here.
You figured it out.
Yeah, I've got it.
You're gonna be smiling tomorrow.
I think so.
You're gonna be smiling.
I
tomorrow.
got a gut feeling.
Those always work out well. Yeah. Now, if you would like to smile, but your smile's not great, you can get it fixed. Go see my dentist, Dr. Smith, over at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Go to their website, smilestructure.com, where you can book your appointment. You can see everything that they can do for you, which is basically handle all of your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, cleaning, whitening, crowns, fillings, dental implants, wisdom teeth extraction. Smile Structure does it all, and they do it great. They're fantastic. Dr. Smith over at Smile Structure has been my dentist for years, and even if I had a 4-year gap in between when I didn't go to the dentist, you go see him and takes care of what needs to be done the way he does it. Love going to see Dr. Smith when I have to. And I realize for a lot of guys, you don't go to the dentist unless you have to. And when I say have to, that means you're in pain. Obviously, emergency situations, he'll get you taken care of it in the right way and get you out of pain, which is important. But if you're trying to take care of your teeth, and you should, especially as you get older, Smile Structure is great. I'm going through Invisalign right now. Started that process. Put my week 12 trays in today, week 12 of 21, and I'll have a much better smile in just a couple more weeks with the Invisalign. Smile Structure does have a Medicaid and all PPO insurance where they accept it, and they do offer a dental savings plan if you don't have dental insurance. They're veteran-owned and operated, and they offer discounts to uninsured veterans. And right now, mention the Blitz, me, 94.1, you'll get a free exam and x-rays. So go see them. 5 San Antonio area locations. So there's one near you. Book your appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
6 a.m. on the Morning Huddle, you'll find out whose voice you're hearing right now. You'll also find out who's advanced in the NBA playoffs. You'll find out if I'm bummed about the Golden Knights.
And oh, by the way, F1 action? Well, we won't talk about it, but it happened. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
The Big Blind is celebrating their official grand opening May 8th through the 12th with an epic weekend, starting with a 12K tournament on Wednesday the 8th, 10K tournaments Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with $500 high hands every half hour and a 5K Texas free roll on Sunday, plus daily blackjack tournaments. Plan now to celebrate the Big Blind grand opening next week. The Big Blind, down from the Roof Pub at 281 in Redland Road. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You know, we're at Retama Park. You know, the Derby tomorrow. And during the commercial break, Joe was like, yeah, last night, man, I went over to Tri-County, got me an Awakushi ribeye steak.
I did.
Grilled it up.
Dude, it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like melt in your mouth kind of stuff.
And how did you say it?
Aguagashi. How do you say it?
Akaushi?
Akaushi.
What did you say?
Anagasti?
What? What? Huh?
Dude, I don't know what it's called, but I know how it tastes. Yeah, it's fantastic.
So you're home alone, right?
Uh-huh.
Wife's out of town.
Yeah.
And you went and you got a fancy ribeye.
Yeah.
Grilled it up by yourself.
I did.
He's like, man, I ate the whole thing and everything.
I did. I ate every bite.
Yeah.
Gave the dogs some, a little of the extra stuff I didn't want. Like the fat.
What's the extra stuff?
Well, just a little fat, some of the pieces there.
The extra stuff I didn't want. Do they not normally get that?
Well, sometimes they do, yeah. But it's kind of like
Akaushi.
When Maggie's out of town, she doesn't really like me giving the dogs too much table food, right? So, I mean, not that she's opposed to it, but I go a little overboard when she's not here. So
the dogs like it when the wife goes out of town.
We enjoyed it, yes.
They're like, oh, mom's gone. It's just dad.
That's right.
Then they kick you out of the bed. You had to sleep on the couch. They took the whole bed over.
Well, they damn near did. I'll tell you that. Big king-size bed.
Your dogs aren't big enough to take over the bed.
But the dogs don't lay like humans do. They choose to lay the other way for whatever reason.
You can train the dogs to sleep on the floor. You know that, right?
I don't want to do that.
Well, why not?
Well, I like them in the bed.
Well, then you can't bitch about them being in the bed.
I'm not bitching. You were bitching.
You just said they don't lay right.
They don't lay right. But I'm saying
you could turn them, right? They're not that big.
I slept like a baby.
Yeah?
Yeah. No problem. So did they,
just on the little corner of the bed.
No, I was actually in the very middle of the bed, and it got dogs on either side.
Really?
Yeah. So it worked out great.
It does.
Yeah. No problem.
None at all.
Does Josie sleep in the bed? See?
Yeah.
See that?
See, Josie would be our engineer, Greg Shelton's dog.
Yeah.
And Greg sleeps on the floor and Josie sleeps on the bed.
Josie do whatever she
which
wants.
Is the way it should be. See, and Josie's the same way. See, Greg is one of those mean dog owners that doesn't like to give his dog real food.
You don't. Yeah,
but every time we have barbecue at the station, Josie comes and she begs and we feed her, and then Greg yells at me, and then the dog's like, "Sorry, dude, but give me more food." And I'll say, I'll let him agree. Greg will yell at me. I'll feed the dog. And it's the pickiest damn dog I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, because she'll eat. There's something she won't eat.
French fries.
French fries.
She doesn't eat French fries. She doesn't eat potato chips. She does like chili cheese Fritos, which I find surprising.
Oh yeah.
But she doesn't eat like a regular potato chip.
Well, everybody likes chili cheese Fritos.
Well,
they're the best.
Yeah. She'll eat a Dorito, but not a Funyun. But she likes to play with the Funyun.
Did you blame her? Funyuns are awful.
Well, Pledge loves Funyuns.
Well, that's great. Pledge loves everything.
Well, that's not true. Pledge hates onions, but he likes Funyuns.
That's Gee, Pledge.
Pledge makes no sense sometimes.
Well, all of us are that way.
I was going to say, it's kind of a theme of the show.
It kind of is.
What do you mean? Not making sense?
Yeah.
I know, Jason. It makes sense a lot, Pledge. You're right. That's exactly right.
We try to make sense. We have no idea. We have no idea.
We actually have a great idea on a lot of things.
We do.
Now, but I'm going to flat out tell you I know nothing about horse racing, but there's a lot of people in here that do. We talked to Frank Alosa. He gave you some hints, so I'm ready to roll.
So you're ready to roll. Now, Frank Alosa, bloodstock agent.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's his title.
Dun, dun, dun.
And he actually has a horse in the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. He's got just a touch to win. That's his horse.
Yeah, that's not his horse.
Not his horse, but that's his horse.
Right.
That's his pick to win. His horse is named Epic Ride. But he said Sierra Leone, Mystic Dan, Forever Young, Epic Ride, and Track Phantom are the horses that he likes in the race.
With the odds and as good as he feels about his horse, you throw a couple of bucks on that horse.
Yeah.
If you win, you're gonna get some bucks.
Absolutely. Well, that's the goal, isn't it?
Sure. Well, that's what I mean. You got to take some chances. It was the same with UConn. Now the favorite won, but you got to take a chance every now and then, and not just go for the favorite all the time.
Well, are you? Again, are you trying to make more money, or are you going with the favorite?
Right.
I think that's what it boils down to, right?
So I've got my I've got my strategy lined out. I'm ready to go. As soon as we're off the air, but I'm going to the window, dude, because I can't figure out these machines.
The machines aren't that complicated.
I can't figure them out.
How do you not figure out the machines at this point? I mean, why don't you just
hold on.
There's a guy showing you your phone right now.
Now wait a sec. Is this you?
What?
Some guy bet a 10-cent superfecta, won 15 grand.
Really?
10 cents. They have to come. Right?
Yeah.
10, 5, 4, and 3.
Yeah.
Some dude just won 15 grand
off a dime.
Off a 10-cent bet.
Yeah, that's a dime. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. That just happened, but it wasn't that guy.
It wasn't that guy, no.
Huh. That's that guy that's been chewing on cigars all afternoon.
Yeah, what of the dude.
Now he's got some cheeseburgers in front of him. Now he's going to go eat.
Well, I don't blame him. He's been here a while. He's probably hungry.
Well, I imagine. I've been here a while too. I'm hungry.
Well, I'm just saying, a lot of people, you kind of camp out for the afternoon.
You got races throughout the day. That's what it is. I mean, they have wine here.
Yeah.
Cheese fries, it looks like.
Oh, they got a full bar over
fried
here.
Shrimp. Yeah,
it's a full bar.
You've been here all day. You just realized there's a bar there?
But you said they got wine here. I mean, it's like, duh.
Well,
they got a full bar over there.
They're drinking wine over there.
Well, yeah. La-ti-da. Now, I wonder.
Here we go.
Does she drink with their little pinky?
Oh, of course she does.
Yeah? Look.
Yes. Yeah. Of course she does. You don't understand. I mean, it's box wine, but,
Box wine.
For her. I mean, at her house, she's got a great collection of box wines.
We're talking about Jasmine, who is.
We didn't have to sell her out that way.
Oh.
She doesn't want people to know that it's always box wine.
Hey, you got to go with what you like.
Uh-huh.
If you like box wine, you go with box wine.
Mm-hmm.
It lasts longer, right, Jasmine?
Nothing. No wine lasts long with Jasmine. None.
Dude, I can't. I had some wine last night with my delicious agayushi steak. It was delicious.
Akaushi.
Had a nice glass of wine with that steak. It was delicious.
Uh-huh.
Paired perfectly.
Watch some good basketball.
And I did that too, yes.
We got some basketball tonight, which it'll be interesting. I mean, I think we got a couple of closeout games tonight. Weird to say I'm unexcited about tonight's NBA slate.
I'm excited about the Mavericks game. That one could be a good game. I just can't get into Cleveland, Orlando. I don't know what it is, but I just that series does not excite me at all.
I mean, compared to like last night's Knicks Sixers game, that had that big game feel. Can't wait for that game to start. It started later, so a lot of times, with our jobs, like you get home, and especially the Knicks Sixers, if that game's started basically by the time we walk in the door, by the time we get off work at 6.
Right.
Well, last night didn't start till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's like your dinner's like, all right, it's almost game time.
Perfect.
Like get there.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it was perfect.
Tonight's games just don't have that same kind of, for me anyway. I expect the Mavericks to win, although the Clippers typically have played better without Kawhi, who's, surprise, out again.
Well, they've got a lot of practice doing that, because he doesn't play a whole heck of a lot. So I think that's got the makings of a good game. And I like watching the Mavericks play. I like the way Kyrie has come in. He's the way he's playing. And I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have the same feel as the excitement that I had for that Knicks-Philly game last night. But I'm going to be watching it.
Well, I mean, it'll be on. I mean, sure. Although – you also have the Stars in Las Vegas playing tonight.
Well, that won't be on.
Dallas with a chance to finish off Vegas tonight.
That won't be on at my house. I don't have 2 TVs in my living room.
You could put some hockey on if you want.
I could.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Because I really have no desire to do that. But you let me know how it goes. I'm sure you'll talk about it for 10 seconds or so on Monday.
I mean, well, and something else that you could watch tonight. I assume it's on television somewhere. Caitlin Clark will make her WNBA debut tonight.
Again in Dallas.
Yeah. And what I find interesting is the way they travel. And I didn't think about this initially, but on Sunday when we were flying back from Phoenix, the Phoenix Mercury were at the Phoenix airport. They were at the gate next to ours. They were getting on a plane to go to San Diego for training camp. Saw Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, and we were all watching at the bar watching this Mavericks game. And most of the Mercury team were standing kind of behind where Joanna and I were sitting at the bar. And we're watching this game, and a couple people were taking pictures of Brittany. And, the Caitlin Clark craziness at the airport is something that the WNBA is going to figure out because they fly commercial.
Yeah.
And part of me, will Caitlin Clark, when their TV rights deal is coming up, will that get them enough income coming in to where they can start flying charter? But like the Mercury's plane to San Diego was delayed like 2.5 hours.
Oh man.
And our flight was delayed as well. There was all those storms on Sunday, and so everybody was dealing with delays. But you think about professional teams, and you see a lot of small college teams running around in the airport.
Right.
But with Caitlin Clark, do you change things? But the extra security that Indiana has had to now travel with, because the excitement level, the rock starness that she has rolling through airports like regular people.
That's going to be interesting. And obviously they had to take a flight because they're in Dallas tonight.
Yeah.
And then they'll have to get out of there. So I wonder how they did handle it. That's a great question. But yeah, they're going to have to do something. And I think eventually it will. I think the WNBA is evolving a little bit. It's certainly going to get a little more popular. You're going to have more eyes on it. The TV games that Indiana is going to be involved in and all of that. So I think eventually, in the not too distant future, they'll be flying charter, and they won't have to deal with it.
But all the teams are going to have to, because I was honestly, seeing a story today about the craziness of Caitlin Clark traveling, thinking about Brittany Griner. I thought that she had different travel arrangements after her issues in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
But, literally she was standing behind me on Sunday.
And nobody was bothering her.
A couple people took pictures with her, but for the most part, not. She was very accommodating. I didn't say anything to her, but, just watching her interact, she didn't have crazy security around her or anything like that.
I would like to see that picture, you and Brittany.
I took a picture with Brittany Griner years ago.
Were you standing on a chair?
We were sitting. She was on the show when I was doing Talons in Phoenix when she first got drafted, and the Talons were playing the the Arizona Rattlers.
Oh, she's pretty tall.
She's not pretty tall. She's really tall. But then again, most people are around me.
Well, that's a good point.
It goes with the territory. Yeah. Is Dean still there, Pledge? Hey, Dean, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, guys. I apologize. I just need to comment on maybe 3 things super quick.
Well, it's got to be quick. We got a minute left.
Okay, when my wife goes out of town, my dogs do sleep differently, like spread out. They take up more of the bed. I think it's very strange that he's having wine and buying steak for his own meal that night. I might eat a bologna sandwich or maybe go get some Popeyes when my wife's out of town.
Hey, Dean, I'm right here. You can talk directly to me. It's all right. It's not he or him. I'm right here, buddy. You can address me. That's okay.
No, it's strange that you laid out a tablecloth and had a fine wine with your steak. But, hey, to each your own. I agreed with you on the dog. Weird on the meal. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Hey, I told my wife what I was having for dinner, and she said, enjoy.
Yeah, of course she did.
Hey, she's out having fancy dinners without me when this girls' trip they're on.
Well, yeah, she's on a girls' trip. I think most guys' wives are out of town. We're getting a pizza. We're getting a burger. We're not going home and grilling a steak and making wine for ourselves.
I didn't make the wine. I opened a bottle of it. And
yeah.
Dude, why not?
I mean, look, I'm with you. The diva qualities, whether the wife's in town or not.
I appreciate it. I mean, why should I suffer with Popeyes or what else did he say? Subway?
I don't know.
Well, the wife's gone. Why do I have to do that?
Know. Hey,
That's right,
Popeyes,
Dean.
I know, a little red beans and rice, man.
I love you.
It's a treat. No extra innings tonight. Rangers baseball coming up next. So come out to Retama tomorrow. See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz.